Petco power surge last night. Jesus Guzman, Orlando Hudson each 3-run homers. 11-3 Padres win. Right-hander Matt Latos, San Diego starter today. Latos a hard luck 1-0 loser to the Dodgers in his last start. Sunday, fun day as San Diego hopes to shave a game off the NL West leaders. Beautiful day this Sunday in Petco Park, the scene in downtown San Diego. Final game of the 4-game series. First place San Francisco and the San Diego Padres. And good afternoon, everyone. With Mark Grant, Dick Enberg. Yesterday, 2 streaks ended. The Padres' 7-game losing streak and the Giants' 4-game winning streak. And now we're into day play, and that's where the Padres have prevailed. They're 20-14 under Saul.
Seems like the balls that the Padres hit yesterday would have traveled day or night, but they definitely needed those 11 runs to have a little bit of a laugher. It's nice once in a while, especially with the lack of offense the Padres have been showing this year, to have the game that they had yesterday.
It's interesting. This date is the day in which Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak ended against Cleveland. Well, the Padres had a 56-game no 2 home runs in a game going all the way back to Colorado. Just to refresh your memory, historically, they hit 2 May 13th.
And it was Cameron Maybin going the opposite way. Sure, it was in Colorado, but he squared up these balls nicely. And when you talk about the home run for the San Diego Padres, 16th. They are ranked 16th in the National League. These guys are going to have to string together a lot of hits. Even Buddy Black has said that. Once in a while, a guy's going to run into one, and yesterday it was Orlando Hudson and Jesus Guzman. 2 3-run shots, and that was some kind of nice to see that. Got everybody into the act.
Padres are without Jason Bartlett, who had 3 hits yesterday. He's on paternity leave. He and his wife expecting their 2nd child, so Everett Cabrera's been called up. We'll talk more about that. He's in the starting lineup. Right now, let's look at our starting pitchers. This is the matchup today. Matt Cain, one of the best in the National League, 8-game winner, but against the Padres, he's 5-10 lifetime. And Matt Latos looks for his 6th win. He's 2-2 against the Giants. And our pitching matchup is brought to you by Discount Tire, where America saves on tires. Oh, what a day for baseball. Glad you're with us. The Giants and Padres. Mark, as always, on Sunday, the Marine recruits up on the upper deck in right field, adding to the color of every Sunday telecast. And adding to the concern is the fact that a bee swarm has struck out near the Padre bullpen about 10-15 minutes ago. President Tom Garfinkel out there to supervise. And here's right out near our camera location. So the bullpen in our area vacated as this swarm looks for the queen bee to land somewhere.
Usually when you hear bee in a game, it's at 10 o'clock in the morning in Peoria, Arizona in spring training. We've heard of the bee games, right? Guys get extra at-bats. But that could be a dangerous situation. So they're clearing that out until they get further notice.
Not the first time. Maybe it's the same colony that invaded here a couple of years ago. July 2nd, 2009. A game that was delayed 56 minutes against the Astros until they got the beekeepers out here to use a little spray force. And not an easy accomplishment. Yeah, it looks pretty good out there right now.
Yeah.
So Matt Latos has completed his warm-up tosses, and Latos to face Andres Torres, Mike Fontenot, and Pablo Sandoval here in the first inning. Padres looking for a win today to square the season series against San Francisco at 5 each. First pitch is low and inside, ball one. Torres has 4 hits in his last 5 at bats, 2 of them doubles. He's been swinging the hot bat in this series. A 23-year-old right-hander from Coconut Creek, Florida. Latos sends in a strike. 93 on the fastball. High drive, right field. Not that deep. Medium depth to Will Venable. 1 away. A look at the San Diego Padres starting pitcher profile. Brought to you by your San Diego County Cadillac dealer. Stop in today for an attractive lease or purchase offer. .258 batting average against Latos. Against left-handed batters, .271. Right-handers hitting .243, but right-handers have hit 7 of the 9 home runs allowed by Latos. Fontenot, second baseman, came off the bench yesterday and doubled in a run in the 9th inning. The final run of the game in an 11-3 San Diego win. Most runs, tying the most runs scored by the Padres at home all season. And it ties the most runs allowed by the Giants pitchers all season.
I think everybody needed that game yesterday. What do you think? People watching, people at the ballpark. That was nice.
Another handsome crowd here on this sunny Sunday. And in for a strike, 2-1.
You know, Dick, we've talked about it before. Remember, 11 runs yesterday, but you and I were talking about, we found out that the most runs that the Giants have scored at home this year, 6 runs.
Isn't that amazing?
That's unbelievable.
2-1 to Fontenot, fouls it back. Well, with the crowd today, and we would guess it's going to be around 30,000, the Padres are going to flirt with about 150,000 for the 4-game series.
Those turnstiles are clicking.
2-2 to Fontenot. Just underway here at Petco. Struck him out. High heat. A check of the lineup for the Giants brought to you by Prize Patrol, presented by Jerome's Furniture. Text winning to 269-411 to enter. Torres, Fontenot, we've seen them. Here's Pablo Sandoval, their top hitter. Shearholtz has been red hot in July. Aubrey Huff, Cody Ross bats 6th, and Miguel Tejada homered yesterday. Eli Whiteside hits 8th, and Matt Cain has got a little power himself. He has 4 career home runs, the pitcher for the Giants. And the fastball at the knees at 95. Sandoval at 302. There are his numbers. Second to Huff in home runs. Huff has 9. He has 8. Rolls this one to the right side. Rizzo flips it to Latos. And it's a good start for the right-hander of the Padres. He retires the Giants 1-2-3. Up come the Padres. Venable, Cabrera, Maben. beautiful city. Sunday in San Diego. Matt Cain on the mound, the 26-year-old right-hander from Germantown, Tennessee. Stocky 6'3" and 230. All-star, making his 20th start. His 8 wins tops the Giant staff. But he's had trouble against the Padres in his career. Will Venable leads it off, batting .241. And Everett Cabrera returns to the big club, first time this season, as Jason Bartlett accompanying his wife as they expect their second child. Paternity leave in the major leagues allows you a couple of days, and it's just the same mature approach to handling such a situation. You should be there with your family and your wife and your new child, but he has to be back by Wednesday. 3-0 to Venable.
Yeah, the rule on that is a maximum of 3 days, so we wish the Bartlett family nothing but the best. And good things happen when you bring life into the world. Jason Bartlett, the giver of life.
That's outside, ball 4. Venable wasn't quite sure. A 4-pitch walk. Venable gets it started for the Padres as we look at Bud Black's lineup presented by Ashford University's Homers for Heroes. If any Padre in today's lineup hits a home run, Ashford will donate $2,500 to Operation Homefront. Appropriately here on Military Sunday, Venable, Cabrera, Maben with Ludwig hitting cleanup. Then Hudson, Kyle Phillips behind the plate. Rizzo bats 7th, Gonzalez 8th, and Latos 9th. Venable with 15 steals, part of the swipe team for the Padres, leading the National League with 94. That's a strike on the inside corner to the switch hitting infielder. Cabrera batting .305 at Tucson. A couple of home runs and 23 stolen bases for Everett. Missed 6 weeks of the season with a hamate fracture, so he's just returned to duty. Breaking ball missing. 1-1.
You're going to see a lot of four-seam fastballs from Matt Cain. That curveball we just saw, a slider and a changeup, but more of the four-seamers than two-seamers. Like Matt Latos, if he can locate that number 1, he's going to be good. Matt had a good first inning.
He had Venable leaning a bit. Cain is an excellent golfer. In fact, in some of the contests where they have long distance driving, he wins those. Can really tee it up, tee it high and let it fly. Huh?
Big hitter.
And that brings us to congratulations to the 2011 British Open champion Darren Clarke, the 42-year-old from North Ireland, wins his first major today. Very popular win and emotional win.
I'll bet.
Likeable guy around the world. Darren Clarke, British Open champ. Ground ball right side. Fontenot can't get it. Venable's on his way to third, and he'll make it. Fontenot may have been guilty of thinking, can I field this and whirl and get the lead man on a force play, and the ball skipped right through his glove, and they're going to call that a base hit. Well, that's a generous piece of scoring.
Good for Everett Cabrera. Welcome back to the big leagues. Oh, my goodness, that's got to be an E4. I mean, I'm all about guys getting hits and boosting that average, but come on, that's got to be an E4. Everett will take it.
He may change his mind after he sees the replay.
But, Dick, I think you hit the nail right on the head. He anticipated the action after catching the ball rather than catching the ball first. I thought he was going to spin just like you mentioned.
The other Padres a chance to get the early lead, and that bodes well for them throughout the year, as it does for every team. Here's Cameron Maben. Infield back. They'll give up the run for a chance at a double play. What you don't want here is a strikeout. Maben leading the team in runs scored and triples, 6 3-base hits. 5 home runs on the year, as you saw 2 of those in one game in Colorado, both to right field. Lays off the inside fastball at 90. Venable at third. Cabrera at first. No one out here in the first inning. Padres got 3 on the Guzman home run yesterday, and that sent them off to their 11-3 victory.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. With that infield single, I'll bet you Jimmy Moore had the media relations director for the Giants is talking that score, because if they, I mean that's a base hit that goes against earned runs, right, for Matt Cain.
If the Padres score, yes.
Exactly.
1-1. Maben waits. There goes the runner. Hopped him up. Cabrera got to put on the brakes and head back to first. That ball's having trouble, and finally it's Tejada that goes out, as Fontenot seemed to have trouble with the sun, and Tejada staggering into the outfield to make the play. Saved the Giants with that one. The defense for San Francisco is brought to you by North County Cadillac. Customer service at a whole new level. Sandoval at third. Tejada playing shortstop and shallow center here early. Fontenot, some troubles. And Huff at first. Ross, Torres, Shearholtz in the outfield. Eli Whiteside behind the plate handling Matt Cain. So Ludwig, the leading RBI man for the Padres, has a chance here. 1 out, first and third.
Hey, today's a eye black day, sunglass day, shade the eyes with your glove day. As you mentioned, Fontenot gives up on it, and great reaction time by Tejada, getting himself together and gathering himself and concentrating, catching that pop-up. I thought that thing was going to find a garden spot out there in shallow right center field.
Ludwig trying to snap out of a modest hitting drought. He's 1 for the last 17. This will be a good time. That was that line drive off the wall. It's just a low laser shot 3 nights ago. First and third, 1 out. And Cain in a position to induce Ludwig to hit a ground ball, get out of this mess in the first inning. Breezy day this Sunday. Pleasant temperature in the mid 70s, a nice ocean breeze. Tried to get him to fish for the slider. He would not go. 2-0 to Ludwig. Orlando Hudson on deck.
Matt Cain throws harder than Barry Zito. We know that. The Padres hit some mistakes out of the hand of Zito. Nice to see Ryan Ludwig maybe get a mistake here, but you can see that Matt Cain is really trying to concentrate down and away to Ludwig at this at-bat.
Away again.
But he missed the location on that one. See, Whiteside wanted him to bury it on the inside part of the plate.
Well, Ludwig in the driver's seat here. 3-0 the count. Runner goes. The throw by Whiteside, not in time. Cabrera back in the big leagues with a stolen base. That takes away the double play. Number 95 steals for the Padres, leading the National League.
I'll bet you a dime to donuts. In Tucson, where they play their games, it's 90 feet from first base to second base. Everett Cabrera thinking the same thing. Hey, I'm just going to pretend I'm in Tucson. Another stolen base and another King Stallman stolen base. Welcome back, Everett.
And you save your dimes. I'll get you the donuts. So the infield plays back. They concede a run here with a count 3-1 on Ludwig, and he lines one to left center field, but Torres is going to get there, makes the catch, tagging Venable, and the Padres do score first. Ludwig with his 56th RBI of the year on the sacrifice line drive out.
It wasn't a power swing from Ludwig. It was a slider down and away, and just enough to elevate that ball. Once again, Cain trying to go down and away with the breaking stuff, maybe get a grounder, maybe get a pop up the infield. That's a nice sacrifice fly for Ryan Ludwig.
Yeah, the Padres, when they score first, they're 25-10 on the season. They lead 1-0. The leadoff walk pays off. Here's Hudson with a man in scoring position. Lifetime, when he sees that orange and black, he thinks 300. Career 302 average against the Giants. Checks his swing, but he went around. 0-2 the count. Hudson with his second home run of the year, the 3-run shot into the left field bleachers last night. 2 outs. Cabrera leads away at second. In the dirt. Curveball. One and two outside. Kane has expressed the fact that of all the tough hitters that he faces in the National League, the toughest for him, Todd Helton of the Colorado Rockies. Helton would get a lot of votes from pitchers.
I was just going to say, yeah.
2-2 to Hudson. Foul back. Good cut at a curveball. Well, our Cold Hard Blast is presented by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Here's Hudson batting right-handed against Barry Zito yesterday. A third-inning 3-run homer, and that boosted the Padre lead to 7-0 on their way to an 11-3 win. Line foul down the left field side and zips back into the lower boxes.
Well, Matt Cain is one of those guys that when his back up against the wall with runners in scoring position, he really barrels down and makes good pitches. Over the course of this season, runners in scoring position, opponents are hitting only 169 off the right-hander. 7th lowest in the National League.
So there are money hitters and money clutch pitchers, and he's one of them. Again, 2-2. Low and inside with the breaking ball.
And you know, he'll do just about what any other pitcher will do when there's a runner in scoring position. He will go to his secondary stuff because all those big league hitters love the fastball, right? So he's trying to throw curveballs up there. He's flipping sliders up to Orlando Hudson. First base is open.
Kyle Phillips, young catcher, on deck. Cabrera with his lead at second. Soft ground ball to second. Fontenot makes the play, and the inning's over. Padres get a run on a walk and a Gift scores single and lead 1-0 after one. A lot of fun. Beautiful out on the bay. Our Sky Cam brought to you by Hughes Marino, because where you do business matters. Scoring change as we anticipated. The hit credited to Cabrera erased. That's an error on Fontenot. Unearned run Padres. Line drive, base hit. Nate Scherholtz, first pitch in this second inning, rifles a single to center field. And here is the play again. Ball should have been fielded by Fontenot, as we surmised at the time. Initially called a hit, now ruled an error, which makes the run obviously unearned. So the Padres get a run on no hits. Aubrey Huff, he's left his mark on the series with that Thursday night home run in the 9th inning, when the Padres had a 1-0 advantage, 3 outs away from taking the first game of this 4-game set. And then the Giants went on to win it in 12 by a 6-2 score. Now, these two teams, nose to nose, chin to chin. Yeah, they play the similar games, and you have the feeling they'll battle a lot of close games all year long. Way out in front was Huff. Good changeup.
That's a beauty of a pitch for Matt Latos. I mean, everybody has the number 1 in the back of their mind. Every hitter knows that he can throw the ball 95, 96. So when you pull the string like that with a little bit of movement, great pitch for Matt Latos.
Scherholtz at first base had his 8-game hitting streak snapped last night, but opens today with a single. And the fastball over but low. 2-1 to Huff.
Boy, if Matt can limit the walks. I mean, last time out against the Dodgers, he walked 2. Good pitch. And you know what? Kyle Phillips does such a good job locking that wrist and just keeping that hand still, catching that ball.
But Hudson did not give him the call. There goes the runner, and the ground ball right through the hole. Hit and run. And on to third, Scherholtz. Opening singles for the Giants here in the second. And with no one out, they have runners at the corners.
Well, on the hit and run, you're ordered to swing no matter where the pitch is thrown. He is off and running. And when you look at the swing of Aubrey Huff, he goes down and gets it and wraps that ball, hooks that ball through the hole. That is perfectly executed.
So the Giants in position to tie it up or better. Cody Ross, the left fielder, hitting .267. Homered in game 2 of the series. Infield back. Slider just missed. Padres would trade a run for a double play here. 2-0. That ball didn't break. Slider
didn't get out in front of it. Elevated that up and out of the zone. Thank goodness it's up and out of the zone. Cody Ross, he'll put a hurt on one if you leave it on the inner half. He has proven that before.
When's the first time you saw a player, a hitter, wear sunglasses?
I remember Phil Nevin doing that all the time.
That's a strike.
Phil Nevin comes to mind. Jack Parkman from Major League 2 movie. He wore them. Jeff Kent. Remember Jeff Kent?
Yes.
Jeff Kent wore them.
So we're saying really about the 1980s is the first time?
I would say, yeah, late 80s is when the Oakleys really came into style.
2-1. No one out. First and third for the Giants. Good breaking ball. Slider. And Ross fooled on it.
You know, sometimes Matt Latos will throw that breaking ball. To see this one, it doesn't seem as hard as like a traditional slider. It's got that 12-6 break. So sometimes I'm thinking maybe that's a curveball, but no, that's a slider. The curveball has more of a bigger hump to it.
Miguel Tejada on deck. Strikeout would play big here. Another slider. Count is full. Ross walks more than any Giant. Scherholtz at third. Huff at first. It's about as often as a lunar eclipse, but it's worth a try.
Or if Ruben Rivera is on first base running.
That's right. Well, where is Ruben when you need him? 3-2 to Ross. Lines that into left center. Maben has a track on it. Tagging and scoring is Shearholtz, and it's 1-1 on the sacrifice fly by Cody Ross. Holding at first base was Huff. Ross has knocked in his 28th run. So each team scores on a sacrifice fly here early in the game.
Hey, different swings for different situations, huh? Ross got a ball that was just elevated out in front of a little bit and just hit it nice and easy swing for the fly ball.
Miguel Tejada checks in at 243. Hit his 4th home run yesterday. Into the Padre bullpen. Good live fastball there at 95. Not beyond Bruce Bochy to flash out that hit and run sign again here with 1 out. Big hole on the right side, and Tejada can go that way. Back to the mound. Latos hurries it to second in time. Ooh, shortstop Cabrera takes the worst of that, but hangs onto the ball and his legs as Huff came in hard. I think for a moment Latos forgot that he had to play at second base. He hesitated here. Oh, I can go to second.
Ooh, you know, it's lucky that Everett Cabrera doesn't get hurt there. He gets tangled up. Oh, maybe Matt thought there were 2 outs. And maybe, you know, it's kind of hard to hear the dialogue on the field. Maybe when he caught that ball, somebody said 2-2, right? And then he realized, okay, I got to throw.
Meanwhile, Cabrera clipped by Huff. Lucky to be in one piece.
That's a 15-yard penalty, isn't it?
It is indeed. Ground ball by Whiteside to Cabrera. The force at second, and the inning is over. The Giants come back to score a run on 2 hits and lead 1. We go to the bottom of the second here in San Diego, tied at 1. A 2-stop road trip on to Florida and then to Philadelphia and then come home. Friday, party at the park, folks. Country night, Friday, July 29th. The Padres and the Rockies. 7:05 game, and you can enjoy a live country band, specialty drinks, beef, barbecue, and more. Gates open at 4:30. First pitch is at 7:05 on Friday night the 29th. Admission is free with a paid ticket. Get your country night tickets today at Padres.com and enjoy a party at the park, the Friday night fair. Bottom of the second, Kyle Phillips, Anthony Rizzo, and Alberto Gonzalez for the Padres. Phillips hitting .203 with a couple of home runs. And Kane falls behind 2-0.
I mentioned this last time in San Francisco when Matt Cain was on the hill. This kid has become more of a pitcher than a thrower as he was earlier in his career.
Lays that one in there.
You can really tell by his delivery. I mean, it seemed like early on in his career he was more of a max effort type guy. Hey, I'm going to throw it through the brick wall. Free and easy motion for the young Cain.
That's another strike with a fastball, also at 91. 2-2 to Kyle Phillips. Struck him out. Got him with a high slider. First strikeout for Kane. Padres en Espanol is presented by the Ascot Shop in La Jolla, serving San Diego with fine men's fashion. Over 60 years now. It's the best. Designers like Hickey Freeman and Robert Talbot.
Love their ties. Talbot ties.
Oh. Ladies do a lot of the shopping, with birthdays and anniversaries. A good place to shop. Anthony Rizzo, 154. Rizzo approaching 100 at bats, 91 starting today, and if things don't improve, I think in the back of his mind he has to figure that he might go back down to Tucson, try to get that swing back in order. These big league pitchers are eating him up. One and two. Wastes the fastball. The one big positive for Rizzo, he does have a keen eye.
Good recognition of the strike zone. Matt Cain probably make him chase here. Got to think off speed. Ooh, Peter.
Struck him out. So Phillips and Rizzo strike out to open the Padres second inning. Rizzo goes down on a 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
The riding four-seam fastball up and away. And it looks like Matt Cain hitting his target there. And Anthony Rizzo a little tardy on that fastball there. But I think Matt Cain has put it in the hitter's heads. He'll throw that breaking ball even in the count, right? Maybe Anthony was looking off speed there.
Alberto Gonzalez takes a strike.
That's paint.
Playing third base, Chase Headley. The good news is that the MRI on the calf muscle showed no serious damage, and that Headley might be available as a pinch hitter today. They'd like to give him another day's rest plus the day off tomorrow to travel, and hope that he might be in the starting lineup on Tuesday night against the Marlins. Foul back. So the Padres without their starting catcher Hundley on the DL with the operation. Headley out of commission. Bartlett, their starting shortstop, on paternity leave. Reaches out and punches that one foul. Spoils a good pitch. A curveball.
Were you there for the births of your children?
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. All six. And the sixth one was just as exciting as the first.
Absolutely.
Didn't look. I mean, I was there. Outside, 1 and 2. They had.
I was there with a catcher's mitt.
Yeah, they had.
I had the gear on and everything. Come on, come to Papa.
They had one nurse handling my wife and 3 handling me. Swung on and missed, and Matt Cain blows down Phillips, Rizzo, and Gonzalez as he strikes out the side. On to the third, 1-1 tie. The Rockies will be in on Saturday, July 30th, the 5:35 Saturday game. First 25,000 of you receive a free Padres rally towel. Make sure you grab your towel. Cheer on the Padres. Go to Padres.com. Get your tickets today. So tied at 1, we open the third with pitcher Matt Cain, then Torres and Fontenot at the top of the Giant order. Cain is 4 for 37 hitting this year, but he'll take a good cut and has 4 career home runs. Torres on deck, and then Fontenot. Weak wave at a slider.
Hey, Matt Latos has got to pitch to Matt Cain, as you mentioned, with the good bat, like he's a middle type of lineup guy. Got to make quality pitches.
We're going to the mat today on the mound. Matt Cain and Matt Latos. We will hear that magic count 1, 2, 3. That's 1, 2, 3, and Latos has his second strikeout. Well, apparently the bee swarm out there in center field, out by the bullpen, not troublesome enough to hold play, and we have our camera back in center field. We've seen some center field camera shots. Brave Dave is back at work, but we had 2. One, Dave is looking for honey.
Yeah, Dave Doherty usually works that camera. He's out. Knowing Dave, he's out having a cocktail somewhere. There he is, feet up. Hey, where's the drink with the umbrella?
Working hard or hardly working, huh? 1-1 to Torres. Hey, that might be giving signals to the hitter there. You know, when you wiggle like that, it could be curveball. 1 foot fastball, 2 feet curveball. Yeah, that's been an issue here of late in baseball. 1-1 the count.
You know, there's always great stories about going back, like in the Brooklyn Dodger days, in that era, we're stealing signs.
Yeah, well, Joe Girardi was complaining about up in Toronto that he thought they were stealing signs, and we earlier in Milwaukee there was suspicion there as well. Weak wave and a miss, and down goes Torres. Breaking ball gets him. Another nice slider. A couple of strikeouts here in the third for Latos. And Milwaukee winning so freely at home, but just average on the road. So suspicion there that even Bernie out there on the slide might be giving signs.
Wow.
The old binocular trick. Fontenot struck out his first time.
Wasn't there speculation that Bobby Thompson was getting signs off of Ralph Branca? Remember when he hit the home run to win the pennant? I mean, there was speculation that they were cheating and they were giving signs from that scoreboard at the Polo Grounds.
Could have been. That's all part of baseball lore. Well, you played the game. Did you or did you not ever see someone stealing signs?
I've seen guys in the dugout just eyeball the third base coach to try to steal signs. And I have been with guys who have been on second base trying to relay signs to the hitter. Not so much signs, but location. You know, signs are pretty much hard to the hitter. Hitters, I think, want location, if anything, in or out.
But that, you know, that's within the limits of the game. If you can help your hitter and you're out at second base. 1-2 the count. Check swing foul, and in fact, that's what Girardi said, that he thought the runners for Toronto were leaning their head to the right if the pitch was going to be on that corner and left the other. But hey, what's wrong with that?
And that's when you see, or that's why you see catchers set up late with a runner on second base. You know, they'll hop out quickly to the outside corner or inside.
Popped up, foul territory. Gonzalez may have a play. He does, right at the edge of the Giant dugout. Latos takes care of business. 3 up, 3 down in the third. Latos will lead off the bottom half of the inning. Plant Center. By Hughes Marino, because where you do business matters. And by Cox High-Speed Internet. Power all your devices with the fastest internet in San Diego. Dick Enberg with Mark Grant and a swarm of bees in Petco Park, and they've left the center field area apparently, and folks out in left field have been scurrying around. And not to be fooled with, because that anaphylactic shock, some people only need one sting, and that's serious stuff. We had bees we grew up on an apple orchard in Michigan, and so we had to have bees for the pollination, and then we had honey. We sold our honey at the marketplace as well. One of the greatest scenes I've ever seen. My Finnish father, a bee, he would take care. He'd go get the honey and all. Once a bee got inside the uniform, down in, underneath, and he would have set the 100-meter record, at least a Michigan champion, the way he ran through that orchard. Whew, was he picking them up and laying them down and trying to beat himself to death to kill the bee inside there at the same time. Latos leading it off, and he takes a strike, 1-1. Matt, a couple of hits, but one a home run this year. Two and one. It is an effortless 91-mile-an-hour fastball that Kane throws. His motion, whether it's a slider or fastball, just eases it up there, and then he able to throw that one at 91 again. Low, 3-1 to Latos. Early going here. Kane, not his usual sharp self. He's thrown 43 pitches. Latos swinging 3-1.
That's the kind of hack you like to see, 3-1. It was a fastball middle in, up a little bit. You got some fastball down and away right here. Comfort zone for Matt Kane or any pitcher.
And he wastes it. Another fastball. It was the leadoff walk to Venable in the first inning that cost Kane, as Venable came around on the error by Fontenot and a sacrifice fly Ludwig. Back again with the 3-2. Down the middle, strike three. That's 4 straight strikeouts for Kane. Our leaderboard today brought to you by Los Primos, home of the Monster Burrito. Get your $5 meal deal. I guess that limited time only is going to go through the whole season. That's good. They're extending it. Yeah, $5 meal deal. Highest ERA, Padres since start of 2008. 10 starts, Jorge De La Rosa, Jason Hamill generous, and how about Matt Kane and Barry Zito, both over 5 in the ERA column. And Padres taking Zito to the showers early yesterday, 3 2/3 innings, 8 runs. Venable with his walk and scored the Padre run. 2-0.
The times that I've seen the Padres get to Matt Kane, it seems like the philosophy of the hitters have taken them the other way. Trying not to pull the fastball.
Takes upstairs, 3-0. Three and 0 to Venable. Trying to get on there again, and he does. Another 4-pitch walk. So after 4 consecutive strikeouts, Kane walks Venable with 1 out. Everett Cabrera, initially credited with a base hit on his ground ball to the left of Fontenot that skipped by the second baseman into right field, but the official score ruling that an error, and that was a proper correction. Nothing wrong with getting a legit line drive base hit here. Plant one in the corner. Fastball, and there goes Venable on the delayed steal, and it doesn't work. Tejada there hangs onto the ball, and Venable is out. Venable trying to catch the infield of the Giants sleeping, but the wise Tejada hustled over to second and handled a perfect throw from Whiteside. And Tejada shaken on the play.
the ideal situation there on the delay is secondary, ball into the hitting area. And the idea is we're going to try to get the middle infielders to relax a little bit. They kind of, with their spikes, kind of hit the dirt a little bit, maybe look into the stands. But Tejada covering nicely, and a little collision there. Looks like he's pointing to the just below his rib cage, around his stomach area and his elbow there.
Remember up in San Francisco, on a similar play, the second baseman for the Giants was Spike Hall, and it required 7 stitches, and he's on the DL.
Well, everything there, the left arm falling down on the ground there on his right side.
Yeah, the Warrior, the veteran Warrior, he's okay. And Cabrera takes a strike, 0-2. Bounces one in, his 53rd pitch. If Cabrera can reach safely, it'll be Cameron Maben on deck.
Speaking of Warriors, how about our statistician Mike Trussell? Fell at a store the other day, lacerated his right ring finger, and he reported to work that day.
He's tough.
Flipping out the numbers and doing a good job as always.
5 strikeouts for Kane through 3 innings. Padres get a walk, but Venable erase trying to steal. 3 in the book, 1-1 tie. Brought to you by AT&T Wireless. Here's one you're going to know, Mark Grant. On this date in 1974, Bullet Bob Gibson became just the 2nd pitcher in Major League history to reach 3,000 strikeouts. Who was the first?
I think I know that one.
And we'll have the answer for you folks bottom half of the inning. Sandoval takes a strike, leading off the 4th inning. Giants 1 run on 2 hits. Padres 1 run on no hits. Sandoval grounded to first, his initial at bat. Shearholtz and then Huff to follow for the Giants. It was that combination that produced the run in the 2nd inning. Back-to-back singles and then a sacrifice fly, and there's a base hit. Sandoval. Well, he's strong, reaches out, takes the ball away, and pulls it into right field for a leadoff hit.
A 3-pitch at bat for Pablo Sandoval. We're going to check out the Carlos Jr. pitch track and see how Matt Latos went about trying to set him up. First pitch off speed. Curveball right in the outside corner. A slider for a ball, trying to make him fish. Remember, you don't have to throw him a strike. That was a pitcher's pitch, but you're right. Great extension by Sandoval, covering that outside corner and pulling it with the strength of Sandoval for the base knock.
Shearholtz led off the 2nd inning with a single to center and then came around to 3rd on Huff's single and scored on Ross's sacrifice fly.
I'd like to see more pitchers pitch Sandoval in, hard in. Get in there. Tie him up. That's just one man's opinion. How would you pitch him, Professor? Up and in, the old bow tie?
Bounce.
Roll it in there?
Yeah. Go submarine and just go. Try two hopper.
And he would probably hack at it.
2-0. Shearholtz. Hitter's count. Three 3-0. Slider didn't drop into the zone. So a danger spot here for Latos in the fourth. The leadoff hit by Sandoval, and he's fallen behind Shearholtz. 3-0 with Huff on deck. Buries the fastball down the middle. Taking all the way with Shearholtz. Delivery. Ground ball to first. Rizzo. One there. Back to first. Not in time. As we've mentioned several times in this series, for a big guy, Shearholtz can get down the line very quickly. That would have been a double play against most hitters.
That's the advantage of being a left-hander at first base. Field, your shoulders already squared. Cabrera and Latos covering. At least you get the late runner, and Sandoval, you know what? Just a point. Sandoval, a good, clean baseball slide. Why? Because he can touch second base with his hand, right? That's the rule. You can't go way off course and try to take a guy out. You have to be within reach of the second base bag. And he did just that.
Good job by Latos there, digging out a 3-0 and got to 3-1, induced Shearholtz to ground to first. Huff singled on a hit and run to right field, his first time up. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. Throw by Phillips into center field. Now Shearholtz unable to get up in time to advance to third as Maben plays it in. That's first steal of the game for the Giants. Shearholtz, one of the few that will run for the Giants. That's his sixth steal.
And this throw by Kyle Phillips, it leaked towards second. I thought that was going to get Shearholtz right in the grill. It doesn't get him. He slides in safely. Matt Latos going to have to buckle down here with one out.
Pitch was a strike. One and one.
I guess that one was down. Looked like a pretty good pitch from here. Let's take a look. Pitch tracks. That, according to Carlos Jr., that's a happy star strike.
1 and 1. That ball in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike to Huff. You saw his average 236, but his hits are in situations where they count the most. He has the most home runs on the club, 9, and 46 RBIs to lead the Giants with a less than average batting average of 236. And he's got a man in scoring position and takes the slider up high. 3 and 1. Well, he fell behind Shearholtz 3 and 0, got him to ground out. Now 3 and 1 to Huff. Big lead, Shearholtz at second. High deep drive to center. Maben. And easily advancing is Shearholtz to third. When it left the bat, looked as if that might carry a little farther, but he didn't quite get it on the sweet spot. 2 away as Huff retired on a fly ball to center. And here's Cody Ross, who knocked in the Giants' run in the second with a sacrifice fly, a liner to center. 1-1 tie, 2 out. Runner at third, Shearholtz for the Giants. Fastball outside.
96. That's some serious fuzz, as the old left-hander would put it. What's his other great line? The guys who, like Josh Spence, below ramming speed. 83.
That'll be out of play. Goes to the slider. 1-1 to Cody Ross. That pleasant breeze whipping around Petco. Not enough to really rumple the flags much, but out in right field there's a blowing cross left field to right field would aid a right-handed ball hit in the air to right field. So left-handers could benefit today. 2-1 to Ross. Ground ball to short. Cabrera fires. He's still got the gun, doesn't he? So Latos pitches out of trouble in the fourth. No runs, a hit. Man left at third for the Giants. It's still tied at 1. Our salute to the military, brought to you by Coleman University, a military-friendly school. We welcome the men from Camp Pendleton and women. Mike Company, 3rd Recruit Training Battalion. Marines and drill instructors here with us on this Sunday, Military Appreciation Day at Petco. And now back to work. Cameron Maben leads it off for the Padres, looking for their first hit in this 1-1 tie. Maben popped to short his first at bat. Ludwig and then Hudson to follow in the 4th. High pop-up. That's about in the same place he hit the first one. Fontenot out, called off by Torres. 1 away. Ryan Ludwig with runners at first and third and 1 out. Sent a sacrifice fly to center field for his 56th RBI of the year. And the San Diego run that was matched then in the 2nd inning by the Giants. We're at 1-1. You have a feeling this is going to be one of those 1-run decisions today. That runs are going to be precious. Keeping the ball away from Ludwig's power is Kane. Another pop-up. High on the right side, foul territory. Huff fighting the sun.
Boy, that's tough.
2 away. Couple of pop-ups and 2 quick outs for Matt Cain brings up Orlando Hudson.
So the Padre hitters maybe out in front just a little bit. 2 pop-ups to center field and now foul territory first base side. Matt Cain's got that breaking ball working. All you need is that hitter just to be out in front just a little bit. That bat kind of drags underneath the baseball, hence the pop-up.
Well, Cain is working with the Padre injuries to a lineup. 7 of the hitters for San Diego are hitting .241 or less. And actually 8 because Cabrera doesn't have an official at bat. So the only hitter is Maben at .261 over that .241 mark. So it's a lineup that's not very imposing, at least statistically. Ground ball right side, and that's a base hit for Hudson. He started today at .227. First hit of the game for the Padres.
Remember the other day when Orlando Hudson took a swing and he was kind of shaking that wrist of his. The wrist doesn't seem to be a problem on that at-bat. Good aggressive at-bat, pulling that baseball sharply to the right side for a safety.
Oh, he continues to hit well against Giants pitching as he has throughout his career, Hudson. 72nd hit against Giants hurlers in his career. Kyle Phillips struck out his first time. Cain has walked 2, Venable on both occasions, and struck out 5. Phillips presents some home run power. And as we mentioned, the win is in his favor should he pull one. That's just a soft fly ball back of the infield. Tejada squeezes the final out. No runs ahead, a man left for San Diego. After 4, Giants 1, Padres 1.
Hey folks, it's time to improve your home. So visit MurrayLampert.com to see their work, get some remodeling tips, meet the team, and schedule a consultation. Call Greg Cantor. He'll hook you up. MurrayLampert.com. Dick?
All right, Mark Grant, here we go. 5th inning. Tejada, Whiteside, and Cain, the bottom 3 in the order. Bruce Bochy's Giants. Tejada, fielder's choice, his first at bat. Latos and Cain hooked up in a good one. 1-1. A run and 3 hits for the Giants. A run and 1 hit. It's an unearned run for San Diego. Good breaking pitch, and that had Tejada going after a curveball.
We've seen more of the slider this afternoon from Matt Latos. That was a 12-6 curveball, a very good one, bouncing it.
A lot of folks that were out here last night high in praise of Corey Lupke, another terrific outing by the young left-hander. And then you've got the right-hander Latos, who's 3 years younger than Lupke. You forget how young Latos is. Runs a 96-mile-an-hour fastball outside. 2-2. High fly ball. Venable waits for it to come down. One away. Well, it's time now for our AT&T Wireless Trivia answer. On this date, 1974, Bob Gibson of the Cardinals became the second pitcher to reach 3,000 strikeouts. Who was the first? And the answer, the big train, Walter Johnson. Gibson the second, and the first National Leaguer.
You know what's unbelievable about that? 3,000 strikeouts, right? And then Nolan Ryan had over 5,000.
That is incredible. Ought to get you in the Hall of Fame, I think.
I think so, yeah.
First pitch to Whiteside is in for a strike. He grounded to short his first at bat. Check swing foul. Slider fooled him. It was quite a race for the strikeout lead in the National League. Clayton Kershaw of the Dodgers is ahead, but don't count out Tim Lincecum. Struck him out. And for Latos, number 4. Well, speaking of Gibson's 3,000th against Cesar Geronimo of the Cincinnati Reds.
High heat.
See ya. And that was number 3,000 for the man from Omaha, Creighton University, Bob Gibson.
Well, look at that HD scoreboard they had back in the day. Times have changed.
Yeah, when people say, well, what are the biggest changes in, my 50 years in radio and television? And, basically we cover the games about the same way. We have more cameras and we have instant replay with all the, the tape machines. But the biggest change when you look at old games are the graphics.
Sure.
Yeah, it's just that we've improved that element to supplement the telecast. Sometimes, in my opinion, a bit too heavily. That there are times where I feel like I'm reading television rather than watching it. And we've got so much going on. I'm not criticizing our people. I think we do it tastefully. You've got the score, you got the count, you got the outs for you. But we don't have runners going by and something up in the right-hand corner, and it's like watching those stock channels. Leave the room cross-eyed.
Yeah, those news channels, man, they got all the crawls and stuff, and the stuff up in the corners. It gives you a headache.
2-2 to Kane. And Latos in danger of walking the opposing pitcher. 3-2. Kane struck out his first time. You don't want to lay one down the middle. He's got the power to send it out of here. And he walked him. Well, that turns the lineup over, as Latos has walked his first man, and it's the opposing pitcher.
Hey, Dick, we talked about Walter Johnson, right? And Bob Gibson. Bob Gibson, 1974. We documented that. 3,000 strikeouts, Cesar Geronimo. In 1980, Nolan Ryan struck out his 3,000th batter. You know who it was?
Don't tell me.
Cesar Geronimo.
Just trying to nose his way into history, huh? Come on, I'll go to bat. Where is he? 2999? Torres flied to right and struck out.
Well, after walking the pitcher, Matt Latos needs to make an adjustment and get a quick out here with Torres. It would have been nice to have a 1-2-3 inning. And Kyle Phillips is going to have a chat with him, maybe detect something, or just a calm me down type conversation.
Oh, Latos is not happy with himself walking the opposing pitcher, so that's a good visit by Phillips.
Did you see his body language after that ball 4 to Kane? He took a walk almost in between halfway the mound and first base, discussing with himself, but you have to erase that.
You don't want to send up a fat one to Torres, who's hit very well throughout the series. Pops him up, and there's going to be a play. Gonzalez calls off Johnson, or calls off Phillips, and makes a one-handed catch. So Leto's out of the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, a man left. Halfway mark in this one, still tied at 1.
Presented by Harrah's Rincon Casino. If a grand slam is hit this inning, the jackpot is up to $41,500. You have to register at 4sd.com. Good luck to you. And maybe the Padres will hit a grand slam and you'll be a little richer today. Good luck.
More than a little, huh?
Yeah.
That jackpot is up to handsome total. Well, bad news from Germany. The U.S. women's team led 1-0, tied at 1, led 2-1, tied by Japan. And then in the penalty kicks, the Japanese have won the Women's World Cup 3-1 in penalty kicks.
It's a good run, huh?
It really was. Terrific stuff. And
yeah.
It really captivated American audience. And I'm sure in Japan they're having some fun at this point. Americans just totally outplayed them. They had many point-blank shots. They were hitting the uprights, kicking just wide of the goal when it appeared that it would be a easy chance for them. And sometimes the ball doesn't go in the net, doesn't go in the hole, doesn't go out of the park. So Japan wins the Women's World Cup. Rizzo off the head of the bat, and the count 1-2 on the first baseman, who struck out his first time.
Had a chat with Anthony yesterday regarding his stance, and he said standing a little bit more erect rather than kind of hunched over a little bit. So he's working on that, the upper part of his body. See how he's kind of more upright? Before he said he was kind of maybe hunched over a little bit.
2 balls, 2 strikes. He struck out 34 of 91 at bats coming in. And he wastes that one.
It's just amazing how the little subtleties of a pitcher, of an infielder, with the footwork, with the hitter, you know, the stance can make a difference. Hopefully it turns around for Anthony.
Fouls that one off third. That'll make it into the crowd. So a big day in sports with Darren Clark winning the British Open to the cheers of the Irish. His first major, and Japan 2-2 tie, but winning 3-1 in penalty kicks, the Women's World Cup over the USA. Outside, and a full count to Rizzo. Youngest to make a major league debut in a Padre uniform since Sean Burroughs. 21 as well back in 2002. Fouls another. Nice catch. Fan with a glove in the first row of the second deck, reaching out and snaring that one. Oh, he swung it. Ball 4 in on the hands, and that's where they're getting Rizzo. He strikes out again. That's number 6 for Kane. Talk about a good catch. Watch this one. Sign him up.
Nice.
Backhands it.
Yeah.
Gonzalez, he struck out. He was part of that 4 straight that Kane mowed down between the end of the second. He struck out the side in the second, and then Latos to lead off the third. Only 1 hit for the Padres, and that's Hudson's ground single to right in the last inning. 1-1. Arizona leading the Dodgers 1-0 bottom of the 5th in Phoenix. Milwaukee 4-2 lead at Colorado in the 6th. Milwaukee came from way behind yesterday and beat the Rockies. The Giants start today 3.5 ahead of Arizona, 8.5 in front of Colorado, 11.5 on LA, and 13 on San Diego. Struck him out. So Kane feasting on a Padre lineup without some of their top hitters.
Back-to-back strikeouts. Rizzo, now Gonzalez, and both balls. That one just on the outside part of the plate according to Traction. Look how tardy he is on that fastball. The fastball inside to Rizzo was weighing off the plate. That one, according to Trax, was a legitimate strike.
And here's Latos. He took a 3rd strike. Remember, he worked the count to 3-2. So Kane has a chance here facing the opposing pitcher of striking out the side for the 2nd time in the game. 2nd time in 5 innings. These 2 pitchers are working on the opposing pitcher as if they're the cleanup hitter. Remember, Kane was walked by Latos in the top half of the inning. There's a strike. 91 on the fastball. That's just about his level of velocity throughout the game. Another one down the middle.
He has shown sacrificing a little velocity for location. I'll tell you what, if you can keep it at 91, 92 and locate, you're going to do really well.
That was the 80th pitch from Kane.
I think Matt Latos is going to get to that point sometime as well, because he has shown signs when he is on the mound that he can get in that groove and locate the fastball as well. But he has the benefit of throwing 95, 96, even 97 at times. Breaking ball here, I'm guessing.
Ground ball to short. Tejada across to Huff. And the Padres are going in order in the 5th inning. And after 5 at Petco, the pitchers' duel continues, tied at 1. Our Skycam shot brought to you by Mossy Ford and Mossy Toyota. Visit us in Pacific Beach or online, mossy.com. Top of the 6th inning. Fontenot, Sandoval, and Shearholtz for the Giants, who have a run on 3 hits and an error. They've left 3. Padres 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and have stranded 2. Just 1 hit by Hudson and 2 walks to Venable, accounting for the base runners against Matt Cain. Fontenot struck out and fouled out. Freddie Sanchez, who was the opening day second baseman for the Giants, is on the DL. Fontenot and others filling in, and Latos falls behind 2-0. That was a changeup. Lined sharply to right field. Leadoff single for Fontenot to open the 6th inning. That brings up Pablo Sandoval.
2-0. Fastball count, and judging by that swing from Fontenot, he's got in the back of his mind, you know what, I'm looking for number 1. That was right down the middle, just above the knees. He put an aggressive swing on it. Hey, sometimes you're going to foul it off, sometimes they'll swing through it, and he was right on that fastball.
Ground ball could be 2, not hit hard enough. Hudson has to settle for the underhand flip, and that moves Fontenot into scoring position for Shearholtz and Huff. Out in the bullpen down the right field side, Brian Wilson with pen in hand. Wilson, since his high school days and through college at LSU, keeps score in every game.
That's
relaxes
awesome. Yeah.
Relaxes him. He kind of knows how the game is going, how the hitters that he may be facing are playing that day.
That's pretty cool. I've never seen anybody do that before.
Shearholtz, a single and a ground out. It's a good-looking slider, well placed. He said what he enjoys most is when he's on the Giant side, able to color in that diamond. A run scored. One strike, the count to Shearholtz. 285 hitter. He's singled and scored in the 2nd inning. There's a 2-seamer. In for a strike.
You know, there's a great line in the movie Bull Durham. Kevin Costner talks to Nuke LaLoosh, heavy Calvin LaLoosh. He said, you know, you've got fungus on your shower shoes. Until you win 20 games in the show, people are going to think you're a clown, right? Brian Wilson, if he was just an average run-of-the-day pitcher, people would think, you know, but he can do that because he's a stud, right? He can wear the beard. He can wear the spandex tuxedo to the ESPYs.
Just to want to be his companion, that's all.
Right.
I take that back. I think he'd be a lot of fun to be around. I'll buy you a libation sometime, Wilson, after the season. 1-2 to Shearholtz. In the dirt, blocked by Phillips, a slider.
Matt trying to make him fish there, and it's offering at it, hit it on the ground to keep it on the infield so that run will not score.
Shearholtz entering this series had more hits in July than any National Leaguer. He had a hit Thursday night and Friday night. 8-game hitting streak snapped 0 for 3 yesterday, and a single and 2 at-bats today. So 20 hits in July for Shearholtz. And there's another right up the middle. Fontenot races around third. Here comes Maben's throw. It'll be cut off. 2-1 San Francisco. And you can hear the Giants fans. High fastball out of the strike zone.
Yeah, it was elevated. Tim Flannery coming down the line and getting a good eye Hawkeye view of the play, the center fielder where the ball is and the runner. Just an elevated pitch, and he's taking it right up the box for his second hit of the afternoon.
And he's become a real offensive threat in the middle of that lineup, Shearholtz. Huff, a single in 2 at-bats, takes a strike. His single moved Shearholtz to third with no one out in the second inning, and Shearholtz came in on Ross's sacrifice fly. And now he's on the other end of business with a RBI single to make it a 2-1 game.
You know what's frustrating about that at-bat, Dick, to Shearholtz? He had him 0-2, then the count was to 2-2, and he took advantage of that elevated pitch right up the center of the diamond.
Again, though, just like Sandoval, hitting a ball out of the strike zone outside and still making good contact. Shearholtz, who stole his 6th base of the year back in the 4th inning. So Latos keeps a close eye.
Well, Huff leads the Giants in grounding into double plays with 9.
Hacking at that slider. 1-2 the count. Well, the Marlins beat the Cubs again today 7-5, so we're going to go down to Florida and meet a team winning. There goes Shearholtz on a ground ball, one hop right to Rizzo for the easy out as Shearholtz moves into scoring position.
And I think because of Huff grounding into those 9 double plays, Bruce Bochy putting that runner in motion to prevent him from hitting into a double play.
And that, had he not been running, it would have been easy for Rizzo to get the out at first and then the tag at second. So they do stay out of the double play and have a man in scoring position for Cody Ross, who has a sacrifice fly and a ground ball to short. 2-1 Giants with a run here in the 6th. Chop to third. Gonzalez across to Rizzo for the out. And the Giants out in the 6th inning, but they get a run on a couple of singles and lead one. Middle of the 6th. Giants lead it 2-1. August 20th. You got plenty of time, but tickets going fast for the Dierks Bentley live in concert after the Padres play the Marlins, a 5:35 game on a Saturday. Concert free for all fans who attend the August 20th game, so don't wait. Tickets are available. Padres.com/Dierks, August 20th.
I remember seeing Dierks Bentley at Bob's Country Bunker one night. He was awesome.
Will Venable, his first 2 at-bats, did not see a strike. Walked on 4 pitches in the first, walked on 4 straight in the third, but he falls behind 0-2 here, leading off the 6th inning as Matt Cain works with the lead for the first time, having allowed just 1 single through 5. Just did check his swing. Venable, then Cabrera and Maben. Easy roller, right side to Fontenot. 4-3 for the first down in the 6th. Cabrera returning to the big leagues, safe on an error and struck out. Yeah, there are throwers and pitchers, and Matt Cain falls into that pitcher category.
Absolutely.
Just pitching a good game.
He's really matured into a quality. I mean, he was always a quality pitcher, but a strike thrower, a good strike thrower. There are many times when he would want a ball down and away, he'd miss up and in.
Cabrera runs up as if the bunt, takes a strike. Sandoval playing 75 feet from home plate at third, well in on the grass, respecting Cabrera's speed. Strike 2, curveball.
Bounce one right here.
Basically he did. Caught by, and there's a late throw at first base. He's safe.
Why is he hesitating?
Well, he thought he caught it cleanly, but apparently
he's got,
the ball hit the dirt, and Cabrera beats the throw by Whiteside to first.
You know, my philosophy's always been make the play, argue later, you know? Whiteside's trying to convince the home plate umpire that he caught it cleanly. And in the meantime, heads up, Everett Cabrera is off to the races to first base.
See if we can discern whether or not
that ball bounced.
Oh, no question.
No question it bounced.
And no question, Whiteside, you caught it cleanly, but that doesn't matter.
Right, you got to catch it on the fly. That ball bounces.
So it's the 8th strikeout for Cain, but Cabrera, who's worked his way on once on an error, now is on after striking out.
So a break for San Diego.
And Cabrera, a good base stealer there at first base with a tying run.
Struck out swinging pass ball. Is that the ruling?
Got to come up with something.
Yeah.
Caught it on one hop, but it's still a pass ball since he didn't throw him out at first. And that was his challenge. Maben up. Popped up twice to shallow center, once to the shortstop, once to the center fielder, and he takes a strike.
Got to take advantage of those breaks, huh?
Eight strikeouts, 2 walks from Cain. 1 single.
And looking at the whole play, the big picture, I thought he was out at first. I thought Huff had his foot on the bag and made the nice catch. The throw from Whiteside as Everett approached the bag. I mean, it happened so quickly.
That was an alert play by Cabrera. He knew that the ball hadn't been caught cleanly. Dave Roberts there at first base, encouraging Cabrera should he see an opening to steal. He did steal when safe on the air back in the first inning. Ground ball toward the hole into left field. Cabrera has to hold at second. Padres have their second base hit. And a chance here in the 6th inning with 1 away. Our freeze cam is brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Freeze it on the throw up the line to Huff. Yeah, I think he was safe. He's got the ball. And he was on the bag. Padres appeared to have gotten a call there. So 1 out, Cabrera at second, Maben at first for Ryan Ludwig. Inside. Hasn't seen many pitches in there, and that one was a waste pitch. Ludwig sacrificed fly to knock in the Padre run in the first inning and fouled to first. Stares back at plate umpire Marvin Hudson as if he thought that was a little high.
And that was a mistake on Kane's part. He wanted that one down and away. That ball started to leak up and out over the plate. That's the danger zone for Ryan Ludwig. Maybe he can capitalize on a Kane mistake here in this at-bat.
Cabrera the tying run at second, Maben at first. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-1 San Francisco. Jeremy Affeldt starts to get loose in the Giants bullpen down the right field side. One and two. Hitting his spots, Matt Cain. Head on the count. This is often where they'll go to that slider low and away to Ludwig. No, he hit him. Ooh, man. On the left hand. Now Ludwig, who tends to dive out looking for that outside pitch, and he couldn't get out of the way as that fastball tailing in. There was no intent by Kane. He didn't want to hit him and load the bases with only 1 out.
And judging by Eli Whiteside, the way he was set up, he wanted to try to bury that ball in the inside part of the plate. And Matt Cain starting to miss the location.
That brings Dave Righetti, the pitching coach, to the mound. So a strikeout, pass ball, a freakish start with 1 out to get Cabrera on base. Maben seeing eye single through the left side, and now a hit batsman. Ludwig hit to load the bases with 1 out. So the Padres presented with a terrific opportunity despite the fact they've done very little themselves. Bases loaded, Padre at every pillow for Orlando Hudson, who is 1 for 2.
You know, it looked like it was a glancing blow. It's still going to hurt Ryan Ludwig when you get hit on the hand. It's better than one of those that gets hit and it goes right back out to the pitcher. That means it's, you know, a solid blow. And that's a good sign. Looks like Ryan is going to be okay.
No redness yet. So Hudson in a spot to put the Padres in front. Bases loaded, 1 out. Infield will play back. Strike on the outside corner. The slider brought it outside in. Ground ball up the middle. Base hit. Cabrera scores. Here comes Maben. He will score. And San Diego grabs the lead 3-2.
Good piece of hitting by Orlando Hudson. Talked about Matt Cain missing with location. That ball outer third, just above the knee, and the O-Dog puts it right up the center of the diamond, scoring 2. Taking advantage of some mistakes. Nice to see, paying off. And still only 1 out.
Lifetime 300 hitter against the Giants, and a couple of hits today, and that's a big one. By the way, he's 3 for 3 with the bases loaded against San Francisco pitching after that base hit. First and second, still only 1 out to Kyle Phillips, and he Fouls it off. Phillips has struck out and popped to short. Ludwig at second. Hudson at first. And the Padres with an extra out in the inning, and they're taking advantage of it. Cabrera should have been out on strike 3 swinging. But he's now in the dugout with a run scored. Over but low, 1-1. So Matt Cain has allowed only 3 hits, and the Padres have 3 runs. And Phillips up there with a chance to do some serious damage. Good cut.
It still surprises me that Eli Whiteside continued to argue and try to convince Marvin Hudson that he caught that ball and not throw down to first base. I mean, it's an outs and out, whether he caught it or throw it down to first base, get it done quickly, right? So Padres capitalizing on that mistake.
Yeah, that almost filed in the bonehead category. 1-2 to Phillips. Pulls that one way upstairs. Was he in front of that one? Upper deck, just beyond the Padre dugout. That's Roger Repo's country up there.
That's an old angel, right?
Yeah, he hit the longest foul balls I've ever seen. Way up there. They just couldn't tilt the diamond around where he'd hit it in fair territory. 1-2. Strike 3 called. Phillips caught looking, and that's 9 strikeouts now for Matt Cain. 92-mile-an-hour fastball in a tough spot. Let's see what pitch track says.
Yep.
Perfect pitch.
That is a good pitch. Too close to take. Got to be hacking.
So 2 outs to Anthony Rizzo, who has struck out both times. You get down to the 6, 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the lineup. 7 strikeouts and 9 at bats.
I'd like to see Ratso lay into one right here.
Yeah, soft ground ball to second. Fontenot to first. And that's it for San Diego, but they do get a gift couple of runs on just 2 hits and leave 2 after 6 at Petco. Padres in front, 3-2.
Nice.
Small groups or large, you can up to 20 people can enjoy big savings over gate prices, group seating, a scoreboard welcome, and much more. Petco Park offers several exclusive group facilities to fit your specific group's needs. Reserve your tickets by calling 619-795-5555. Matt Latos staked to the lead, 3-2 as he goes to the 7th inning. Lower third of the order. We'll see whether or not Bruce Bochy will hit for Matt Cain. Tejada takes a strike. Starts him with a slow curveball at 76. Tejada grounded out and fly to right. Ground ball sharply. Cabrera can't field it. Infield hit for Tejada. Almost able to dive and come up with it, Everett, but Tejada leadoff single.
It would have been interesting if he catches that cleanly back up to his feet and making a good throw. We know he has the gun there at shortstop, and Tejada getting long in the tooth really doesn't get up the line as well as he used to. But we'll never know. But a great effort by Everett, laying out on that one.
He had it, but the jar, when he collided with the ground, knocked it free. So, leadoff man on again for San Francisco. And when they've had the leadoff, the fourth time in the game out of 7 innings, the first man's been on with a hit, and they've scored 2 of the other 3 times. Whiteside has grounded out and struck out. Kane is in the on-deck circle at the moment. On deck. 1-0 to Whiteside. Out of play. Tejada's infield hit, the 6th off Latos today. All singles. Ground ball, not hit very hard. They do get the force, and barely so. Tejada, only because he isn't the speediest of runners these days, barely out at second base. That's a big play.
I'll be quite honest with you. I thought Everett was going to go to first. Showing some athletic ability, charging this baseball, and then behind, he has to throw behind himself to get the force out. How close is it? Second base umpire Ted Barrett's all over it. Oh, yeah, he got him.
You couldn't flip it there. You had to have something on that throw, and he did.
It was close.
So, with the runner at first base, Hector Sanchez is the pinch hitter for Matt Cain. How about Cain? He throws a beautiful game, a 3-hitter, and leaves the game trailing 3-2.
And you know what that is? That's a big league hang with him. Hey, seriously. Nobody said this game was going to be easy, right? I've said that before about Padre pitchers. I've said about the opposition. This is one tough game to play.
Sanchez just called up by the Giants after the All-Star break. He's had a couple of at-bats. He's walked. 0 for 2. But left-handed with switch hitter, actually, and got some pop on that left side. Whiteside at first base on the fielder's choice. Latos ahead on the count, 2 strikes. Sanchez at Fresno was hitting .305 in his 5 minor league years, a career of .301, so he makes good contact. Got him. Went to the slider. 3-pitch strikeout for Latos, who now has 5. 2-way to leadoff hitter Andres Torres.
Good bite on the slider. Uno dos, adios. That was pitch number 93 for the young right-hander. Still good tilt. Good rotation on the breaking ball.
Torres, dangerous hitter. At least he has been against the Padres all season long, even though his overall average, as you saw, at .233. Takes a strike. 93 yet on the fastball from Latos. Runner goes, and he's got it stolen. Whiteside in easily with catcher Phillips unable to handle a transfer. his first stolen base of the year.
It's a breaking ball. Yeah, you're right, on the transfer.
I don't think he would have gotten him anyway. Oh, although he almost came out the bag, didn't he? There was no ball there, so it didn't help. If he'd had a ball in his glove, he might have been out. 1-1 to Torres, now with a tying run in scoring position. A little more on that fastball, but misses. 94. Second steal of the game for the Giants. Shearholtz earlier with his 6th, and now Whiteside his initial stolen base of this season. 2-1 the count to Torres. Line drive up the middle, base hit. Here comes the tying run, Whiteside. It's 2-3. Boy, that Torres is a tough out for the Padres. Knocks in his 17th run of the season. He's had 3 RBIs in this series.
So a big key in this inning for the Giants, obviously the stolen base by Eli Whiteside. That ball is hit, Shelby, just out of the reach of Orlando Hudson, trying to lay out and prevent that run from scoring. That's a good effort by the second baseman of the Padres.
And he's their best base stealer, Torres. He has 11. Mike Fontenot, the batter, struck out, fouled out, and then his single leading off the 6th inning came around to score. Shearholtz knocked him in. So the leadoff hit pays off again for San Francisco 4 times. They have the leadoff single, and 3 of the 4 times they've scored a run. A short-lived lead for Matt Latos. You just know Torres is going to go here somewhere in this sequence.
I would have to agree with you there.
Pitch out didn't work.
And a pretty good chance that Matt Latos is going to throw some fastballs or sharp breaking balls in this type of situation to at least give Kyle Phillips a chance to throw down to second base.
Two out. Tied again. He bluffs going, and ball 2. #100th pitch from Latos coming up. Both bullpens active. Jeremy Affeldt apparently will be the new pitcher for the Giants in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Runner goes. Hops him up. Shallow in center. Maben cruising in under it. But the Giants get a run on Tejada's infield hit and a 2-out single from Torres, and we're even at 3. signature structure in beautiful Balboa Park. As we remind you, Padres baseball brought to you by Permadontics, Southern California's premier dental implant center. By Goldman Sachs, for all the reasons you invest, mutual funds from Goldman Sachs. And by Hughes Marino, because where you do business matters. Padres and Giants wrapping up this 4-game series, tied at 3 as we go to the last of the 7th, and Jeremy Affeldt comes in, the left-hander. We saw Affeldt on Friday night. He went an inning and 2/3, gave up a hit, struck out 3 batters. There are his numbers. Tough on the lefties, but he'll face Gonzalez, the pitcher's spot, and we may see Jesus Guzman for Latos, and then the top of the order, Venable. Gonzalez struck out both times against Matt Cain. How about Cain? 6 innings, 3 runs, only 1 run was earned, 3 hits. He walked 2 and hit 1, a costly hit batsman, Ludwig, in that last inning, and he struck out 9. Gonzalez happy to see Cain leave, and now gets a chance to look at the left-hander.
And this left-hander features a fastball, curve, and a split. See if the bottom of the order can get on base.
.93. He's got a good heater. Looking at a left-handed reliever reminds us Joe Thatcher, recovering from a season-long injury, and is going to go out on a rehab assignment this week.
That's
Lake
great,
Elsinore.
isn't it?
Yeah, it'd be good to see him back. I like Joe. He's good for the ball club and really gives you a lot of outstanding spot duty. You get that one tough out, lefty against lefty. So we'll see Joe Thatcher hopefully soon. 2-1. The Gonzalez taking there. As we guessed, it will be Guzman apparently to hit for Latos. He's on deck. 4 RBIs yesterday. 2-2 now to Gonzalez. Count level at 2-2. By the mound, but Fontenot there at second to record the out. 4-3. And Guzman, the hitting star yesterday, with a 3-run homer and an RBI single, steps up as the pinch hitter. So Latos' afternoon is through. 7 innings, 3 runs, all earned. And here is Guzman yesterday against Barry Zito, just into the first row and left. A 374-foot home run, and the Padres counted 3 in the opening frame. Latos, 7 innings, 3 runs all earned, 7 hits, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. The attendance today, and another terrific crowd, 36,351. What a series. Two and 0. $152,722 for the 4 games.
That's a good weekend series, huh? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Nice.
Ground ball toward the hole by Tejada into left field. There's going to be a tough chance for Tejada. He was trying to get that legs under him so he could glove and brace and throw all in one motion.
Yeah, he tries to Olay this one. Step. I mean, he actually slows up. You know, that's got to be an error. I think that's got to be an error. Hey, you know, I hope Jesus gets a knock.
And it is ruled an error.
I think that's the right call. What do you think, Dick?
Yeah, that's a big league shortstop's got to make that play.
Yeah.
Venable. And now he has to face a very tough left-hander. He walked twice against Cain and grounded to second base. Cabrera, switch hitter, will be next, or would be next. Guzman, not a serious threat to steal. He does have one stolen base as a Padre. Way outside, gets away from Whiteside and on to second. Guzman. The Giants have played a very loose game defensively, providing opportunities for San Diego, and here's another on the wild pitch.
It's the sweeping slider and just creeps up the left side of Whiteside. And another break for San Diego. Try to break this tie.
Whiteside really should change his name to White Top. He's prematurely gray. Bruce Bochy hiding behind the sunglasses. He can't like what he's seen today. A couple of errors. Man hit by a pitch to load the bases. A pass ball on a strikeout. Cabrera on deck. Venable squaring there as if he was going to try to bunt for a base hit, I guess. Now the bullpen busy with Casilla and Romo, two right-handers heating up. Guzman at second, one out. Way outside with that sweeper.
Yeah, it's got to be tough to lay off for a left-handed hitter. That sweeping breaking ball. You know, a lot of breaking balls to the left-hander from Affeld. So if you recognize the spin and it looks like it's going to be down the middle of the plate, that's the one you got to lay off, like Will did that last pitch, because you know it's going to be way outside. Easier said than done, though.
2-2 the count on Venable. Guzman safe on an error and moving to second on the wild pitch by Affeld as the Padres try to reclaim the lead.
Lefty's only hitting 173 rather, off of Jeremy Affeld.
Popped him up. Third baseman Sandoval for the second out. So it's up to Cabrera. An interesting return to the big leagues for the young shortstop. He's been on base twice. Helped out by the Giants. Safe on an error by Fontenot. In the first, he stole his first base, struck out, and then safe on a strikeout pass ball when Whiteside argued with plate umpire Marvin Hudson that he caught the ball cleanly and had not. It had bounced, and Cabrera running up the line able to beat his throw, at least so judged by first base umpire Tim McClellan. And that led to one of the two runs in the sixth inning. Hitting right-handed now for the first time. Again at Tucson, he logged a .305 average in the Pacific Coast League. Lays off the fastball, and it's 2-0. Cam Maben is on deck. Guzman leads from second, ready to roll on anything hit. 2-0, here it comes. Good cut by Cabrera. Couldn't find that 92 mile an hour.
The ball having a little bit of sink on it as well at 92.
Big swing, but just a nice solid line drive up the middle that would work just fine right here. Ground ball left side, deep play, and Tejada will have to eat it. There is no way he's going to throw out Cabrera, an infield hit. First and third. Guzman wisely helped by Glenn Hoffman at third. Stopping at third, not rounding, because Tejada was looking for that as the possible way to get an out.
The second two-out hit this afternoon for San Diego. They need to string something together here with one more. And it looks like Bruce Bochy going to make a change, and Sandoval comes in. You can see Glenn Hoffman at third base giving the stop sign. A lot of times runners will overrun that bag. at third.
Pitching change brought to you by the Law Tigers, San Diego's motorcycle injury lawyers who ride. Romo comes in. Who has the best record this year of not allowing base hits. Comes in first and third, right-hander to right-hander. Maben ground ball sharply but right at the shortstop. Tejada with a force. One pitch and Maben out. Romo does his job. The Padres, no runs, a hit, an error, lead 2. On to the 8th inning, tied at 3. Saves on tires. Marlins, they will host the Padres Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday afternoon. Beat the Cubs today 7-5. And look at the Dodgers and Diamondbacks. And starting pitcher Daniel Hudson of Arizona, a single and a home run, has knocked in 3 runs, helping his cause in a 4-1 lead top of the 8th inning. Colorado trails Milwaukee 4-2 in the home half of the 8th inning in Denver. You're up to date on the National League West, and the Padres and Giants tied at 3, and Mike Adams comes out of the bullpen to work the 8th inning. His numbers outstanding. All the talk about possible trades around the big leagues here in July, and Adams' name frequently mentioned. And why not? He's just been absolutely superb, and you could see how easily he would fit into the closer role if somebody needed that in the bullpen.
No question. And for a guy like Mike Adams and every ball player that goes out there, when you're on the mound, when you're on the field, it's showtime. There are scouts out there.
Pablo Sandoval takes ball 2.
You want to pitch well, you want to play well for the uniform you're wearing, and possibly if you get traded. So it does play with the mind a little bit where you're going to be, but Mike Adams is worried about a 3-3 tie right here in Pablo Sandoval.
Sandoval a single and a couple of ground outs. All back. Well, the Giants themselves, as was the case last year, with an offense that is next to last in scoring runs. The Padres are last, they're next to last. They're in the market for a hitter. Losing Buster Posey, that took a lot out of the middle of the lineup for Bruce Bochy. They are buyers. Outside, 3-1. This is the tough end of the order. Sandoval, Shearholtz, and Huff. Anyone gets on Cody Ross. He walked him. Leadoff walk. See how Bruce Bochy plays it. Shearholtz is 2 for 3. Scored a run and knocked in another.
He's got to be swinging here, I think. Bruce Bochy is one of those managers who really doesn't like to give up outs. We mentioned that before. He wants his guys up there hacking. And you know what? Sometimes you go by hunch. Sometimes you go by the book. Bruce Bochy banks on his guys, trying to first and third him right here.
Shearholtz, as we've seen, a tough man to double up. It's over but low, a slider. Adams has not been on the mound since Thursday night. He worked an inning, gave up a run. Check that. He did not give up a run. He gave up a walk. And now falls behind. Shearholtz 2-0.
I don't think there's any team in Major League Baseball in a situation like this going to have their number 4 hitter move a guy over. And Shearholtz worked at the count here in his favor, 2-0.
Phillips out to visit with Adams. A walk to Sandoval leading off this 8th inning. And now Shearholtz, the count in his favor. 2 balls, no strikes. Darren Balsley perhaps shouting out a piece of advice, but on the alert there in the Padre dugout. He's hacking. Foul ball.
Well, we mentioned Darren Balsley in the dugout. He was up on that step, giving signs. And I talked to Balls about that the other day. And usually when a guy is on, it's either throw over, pitch out. It's very rarely pitch selection. Very rarely.
2-1. Another foul by Shearholtz.
You know, there are signs if they want the pitcher to come set, hold until somebody calls time. There's a throw over sign. There's a pitch out sign. So that's generally what's going on when there's a coach / manager giving signs to the catcher with a runner on base. Looks like Rick Renteria. Everybody's wearing sunglasses down there today, and they all look alike, so it's kind of tough to tell. There's Rick Renteria, the bench coach.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Just did get a piece of that inside slider. Sandoval at first. Leadoff walk here in the 8th inning. Tied at 3. Ground ball to second. There's one. He'll have to hurry here. Doesn't get him. It had to be perfect because Shearholtz is very quick up the line. Safe on the fielder's choice. But Black not convinced that Shearholtz was safe. Let's see.
It was very close. Everett doing the best job to. Good flip from Orlando Hudson. Get rid of it. Too close to call.
Yep, that's bang bang, and the call is safe.
Hold all tickets. Photo finish.
Can't argue, although Black was battling for the double play. Aubrey Huff, a single in 3 at-bats. Single to right, a hit and run back in the second inning with Shearholtz at first base. That sent Shearholtz to third, where he scored on Ross's sacrifice fly. That tied the game after the Padres got an unearned run in the first inning on a walk, an error, and a sacrifice fly by Ludwig. Giants took the lead in the 6th on a single by Fontenot. He moved up on a ground out and scored on Shearholtz's single. 2-1. Padres went ahead in the 6th. Strikeout safe at first on a pass ball Cabrera. Single Maben. Hit batsman Ludwig and a 2-run single by Hudson. 3-2. Giants tied it in the 7th. Single from Tejada. A stolen base. And Torres 2-out single. So we're tied at 3. And Huff takes a strike. Slider. Shearholtz has stolen the base today, his 6th of the year. One of 2 steals by the Giants. And the one by catcher Whiteside, his 1st of the year, was critical in positioning himself to score on Torres' single to tie the game in the 7th. Another slider, well placed, right in under the hands of Huff. Two strikes. Adams in front. Unusual amount of good hitting done by the National Leaguers. 0-2 this year. Got him swinging. Fastball away. 2 out. Cody Ross, the batter. So Adams takes care of the 2 left-handed bats. Shearholtz and Huff. Now the right-handed hitting Ross.
Kyle Phillips giving it to Mike Adams, saying, "That away, kid. Way to make that good pitch down and away." After going with the slider under the hands, going down and away.
Checking in the dugout to see whether a pitch out's in order. Ross sacrifice fly to knock in his 28th run in the 2nd inning, and he's grounded twice to the left side. Third on the Giants in home runs with 7, behind Sandoval's 8th and Huff's 9. Slider outside. Two out. Shearholtz leading at first base. Tejada would be next. Noise in the background. Tejada getting that weighted donut off the barrel end of his bat. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ross. Forsaken the sunglasses. There he goes. Throw by Phillips. Not even close. And the veteran Hudson tries to bluff as the ball gets away from him and finally scooped up by Cabrera. Sherholtz with his second steal today, his 7th of the year. Giants taking liberties today on the bases.
Oh, I thought Ross offered at that pitch, but home plate umpire Marvin Hudson. Let's take a look from the side. Oh, yeah, that's a hack. He went.
But with a runner stealing, the Padres don't appeal.
So that was a strike, right? So the count was 1-1 or 0-1? 1-1.
It's 1-2 now. That was
Correct.
a strike.
Because I thought on that replay I saw Marvin Hudson actually lift his hand, indicating a swing.
So the Giants taking a page of the Padres book, using the stolen base to move men in scoring position. 1-2 to Ross, and that one's low and outside. Whiteside steal in the last inning led to the run. Moved him to second with 2 outs, and Torres able to bring him home with a single, and now it's Sherholtz. Big pitch. 2-2 with 2 outs. Runner at second. $36,351 here at Petco today to enjoy the final game of this 4-game series. 2 sellouts and 2 crowds in the 30s. And the count goes full. Ross laying off that outside slider. Tejada on deck with first base open.
You almost have to think breaking ball here, huh? I would guess.
First base open.
Yep.
You've got to make him hit your pitch.
Sure. And Mike throws that cutter. He throws the slider.
Ball 4. So a couple of walks for the Giants here in the 8th inning. Men at first and second. And it's Tejada. Infield hit the last time up. Remember, it was the ground ball up the middle, and Cabrera making the dive, had it momentarily, got away for an infield hit, and that led to the run. Tejada was forced by Whiteside, and then Whiteside stole second and came home on Torres' 2-out single. 3 runs and 7 hits for the Giants. The Padres 3 runs, 2 of them unearned, and 4 hits today. Strike 1. Starts him with a fastball. Tejada walks out of the batter's box as if to say, how did I take that one? And right down the middle.
He might have fooled Tejada, because in a situation like this, pitchers will start off, generally with a slider or an off-speed pitch. Sometimes they'll be caught off guard.
That's pulled deep, but well fouled down the left field side. Oh, Adams ahead on the count, 2 strikes. A walk to Sandoval leading off. He was out at second on the fielder's choice, Sherholtz. Sherholtz then steals second. Huff strikes out. Ross walks. First and second. 2 out. 0-2 now to Tejada. Ground ball right at Hudson. Well placed. Throws him out. Inning over. Adams pitches around a couple of walks. We go to the bottom of the 8th, tied at 3.
MLB.com @Bat11 app. I downloaded it on my phone, and it is some kind of nice. Keep up with your team for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and much, much more. Text @Bat to 31826 or visit Padres.com for details. Dick?
All right, Mark. Here comes Ryan Ludwig. He's 0 for 1 officially today. Sacrifice fly, knocking in his 56th run of the year in the first, and hit by a pitch, a big play against Matt Cain. It loaded the bases and set up the 2-run single by Orlando Hudson. Romo on the mound. He got Maben to close out the 7th inning. Ludwig, Hudson, and Phillips do here in the home half of the 8th. Fires the fastball and jumps in front, 2 strikes. Romo with Brian Wilson feared the beard last year. He's black beard number 2, junior. Oh, how did Ludwig even get the bat on that one? Well, let's check our comparison. It's brought to you by the San Diego Toyota dealers. We've got what it takes. Toyota. Padres home runs this year. Solos 28. Men on base 22. That's probably about the Major League average. More home runs with the bases empty than with men aboard. That could be perceived as a hint. But Ludwig goes down on a curveball. One away to Hudson, who is a hitting star for the Padres. He's got half of the team's total, 2 hits in 3 at-bats, and the big one up the middle last time up to drive in 2 runs. Well, Hudson has 5 RBIs the last 2 games. 3-run homer last night. Looks at a fastball outside. Keith Bell tuning up in the bullpen for San Diego. Just missed. Giants in the 9th inning have Whiteside, the pitcher's spot, and Torres scheduled. That ball hit high and deep to left center field. Torres says he's got room. He does. Right near the warning pad. 2 away. Kyle Phillips, the hitter. So from Phillips on down, the last 4 men in the batting order are a collective 0 for 12 this afternoon. Outside corner, and 7 of those out strikeouts. Phillips struck out twice. Rizzo on deck struck out twice. Gonzalez hitting 8th struck out twice. And the pitcher Latos once. Romo quickly in front, 0-2.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, Romo. He's not overpowering, but my goodness, he can hit his spots. He is right on with the crosshairs.
Reaches out and spoils that one. Change up.
Yeah.
Broke his bat. Or he just lost it.
Yeah, just lost it on the swing, trying to reach out and extend on that changeup.
Reach out and touch someone you love, like that young fan in the right field bleachers.
That's right. That would be nice. It'd be nice for Kyle Phillips to deposit a ball out there in right field for a souvenir.
Backs him off the plate, 1-2.
Well, checking the line on Romo, only 2 home runs surrendered in 30+ innings.
Count remains 1-2. Outside. Romo, a very interesting story. His father immigrated from Mexico, a farm laborer. Born in Brawley, out in the hot desert country and farm country. Another foul. He was about to graduate from high school when his father urged him to join the U.S. Navy, and here on Military Day, it's appropriate. And Romo had the enlistment papers right in front of him, but couldn't sign. He just didn't sign. He said, let me try 1 year community college, which he did. And eventually battled his way up the ranks, and now a tough reliever in this league. Another foul.
That's a great story.
Dad bought him his first glove when he was 2 years of age. And he still has it, he says. Kept it throughout high school and college. Went to Mesa State College in Grand Junction, Colorado. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Phillips a good at bat here, spoiling a lot of deliveries. And another. He's not very big. He's just 5'10", 183 pounds. We're talking about Sergio Romo. A 28th round pick. Long shot. Another foul. It's about 5 or 6 in a row with a count 2 strikes against him. That's a 10-pitch at bat for Phillips.
And he's throwing everything up there. The 2-seamer, the 4-seamer, a little run on the 2-seamer. He's throwing some change-ups. Backdoor breaking ball would be a good selection here.
Ooh. Takes ball 3, so he's worked the count full. Tough to lay off that changeup.
Sure is. Especially the changeup that splits the heart of the plate, but is about ankle high. Because out of the hand, it looks like it's going to be right down the middle of the plate. So good job by Kyle lining off that pitch.
So a full count to the left-handed hitting catcher. And then he lines it, but right at the left fielder. Ross makes the play. And the inning's over. Romo gets the side in order. We're on to the 9th inning at Petco, tied at Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And the fans were the catches of the day. How about that? Right field side, left field. They're just as good over there. Well done. Heath Bell in to work the ninth inning. Bell victimized on Thursday night, trying to protect a 1-0 lead, but gave up the home run to Aubrey Huff, tied it, and then the Giants went on to win it in extra innings. He'll face Eli Whiteside and a pinch hitter.
So with the save out the window here at home, Heath Bell trying to shut down the Giants, and maybe the Padres can win in walk-off style in their bottom half of the ninth.
Chris Stewart is in the on-deck circle for Bochy as Whiteside takes ball one. He's grounded to short, struck out, and safe on a fielder's choice. He stole second and came in to tie the game in the 7th inning on the single by Torres. One and one.
I remember that night, Thursday night, Huff hit the leadoff home run to tie it, and then the last out was Whiteside. And I remember that Heath Bell just reared back and just blew the fastball by Whiteside. Nothing but fastballs
like
here.
Yeah. They don't forget.
That's right. And the Carl's Jr. pitch track has that fastball at 94. It's just at the top of the zone. Throw him another one.
Just got a piece of it. Whiteside with 3 home runs, one of those against the Padres. Corey Lupke, that was part of a 2-1 San Francisco win up north. Fouled off the mask of catcher Phillips. Again, if you weren't with us at the start, Jason Bartlett has left the club for a couple, 3 days to help his wife, Kelly, as they welcome their second child. So he's on paternity leave and can miss only 3 games. So he has to be back Wednesday against the Marlins. And good luck to the Bartletts. That's why Cabrera's been called up from Tucson, and he's out there at shortstop. No way to induce Whiteside to swing at that one. 2-2. Breaking ball did not go around.
Boy, tough to lay off that one. That was a good one. That's exactly where Heath wanted it. Look at out of the hand. This ball looks like it's going to be belt buckle high and then ends up at the toes. Does he go? Oh, I'll give him that one. He checked it.
Another foul. That's going to go back into the press area. Full count on Whiteside, leading off the top of the 9th inning for the Giants. He walked him. Well, Heath Bell just consistently, and he's self-acclaimed the drama king, gets himself in trouble. Walks the leadoff man.
Whiteside really laid off some good pitches there, and Bruce Bochy's going to pinch run Emmanuel Burris at first base.
Well, Burris, the second best base stealer for the Giants, and that's got to be considered the way they've been running freely today on Padre pitching and catcher Phillips. And Chris Stewart introduced as the pinch hitter, backup catcher. Adams able to pitch around a leadoff walk in the 8th inning. Gonzalez in on the grass at third. He feels Stewart's going to bunt.
You know, it might be a situation here where you send the guy, have some success there, and then bunt him over to third. Have to see what happens here.
It's the 6 times in 9 innings the Giants with the leadoff man on. They pitch out, but no chance as Burris able to scramble back. Rizzo was charging on the play. Burris is 6-for-9 stealing. There he goes. Throw by Phillips. And it's another stolen base. Giants are 4 for 4 today. And that's going to factor in the game. So a walk and a steal, good as a leadoff double for Whiteside and Burris.
You know, I think that's exactly what Stewart was doing there. He was showing bunt with no intention to bunt, letting Burris go. Now he'll probably drop one down to get him over to third base.
Well, the Giants, not known for their base stealing, certainly have been hot to pilfer in this series. They're getting a lot of extra bases, moving men into scoring position. Now no one out, runner at second. You're right, here comes a bunt, and it's a perfect bunt. Bell to Hudson for the out, and the Giants can take the lead without a base hit here in the 9th inning. Walk, stolen base, sacrifice, 1 out, man at third, and the top of the order, and Andres Torres.
Well, the first time was just for show, giving a chance for Burris to get into the scoring position. This one is for dough. He gets it down nicely, moves him over to third base, and that's money for the Giants. Now Heath Bell's got some serious work to do here to leave that runner stranded at third base.
And the Padres have to bring the infield in. Gonzalez, Cabrera, Hudson, and Rizzo in tight. Torres lined a single to right center field for an RBI in the 7th to tie the game, and here he's got a chance to give the Giants the lead again. That's got to be the most misleading batting average in the league, 237. He plays the Padres as if he's a 337 hitter. Slaps that one upstairs.
Got to work down here. Think down. Something up in the zone. That's got fly ball written all over it.
And you got to be alert for the squeeze as well. Ground ball to second. Runner holds. Hudson, good job there, because the pinch runner Burris had started down the line and stopped like he was going to go back, and he was just hoping that Hudson wouldn't pay attention to him, and he might have come home. But Hudson, a little fake of his own to show him that he knew exactly what might be in order. Kept him at third, 2 away.
And a good pitch. He jams Torres on that weak grounder in the cat and mouse game. Go. Should I go? Should I go? Should I stay? No. Number 2 guy coming up, Fontenot.
He's got a single and 4 at bats today.
Stay at third base. Let the next guy try to drive you in.
Fontenot, another Giant who doesn't have a flossy batting average, but gets some key hits. Came off the bench with an RBI double last night. Has a single and scored a run today, and 2-0 the count with Pablo Sandoval on deck. Leadoff walk to Whiteside, putting pressure on Bell and the Padres in this inning, and they just soon not face the 300 hitting Sandoval, but Fontenot a tough out. He has struck out, fouled to third, singled and scored, and flied to center. Ninth inning, 2 outs. Go ahead run 90 feet away for the Giants, and 2-0 the pitch. Way outside, 3-0. High strike, 3-1. Got to make this man swing the bat, don't you? Sandoval on deck.
Good located fastball should go to the advantage of Heath Bell. There you go.
3-2 to Fontenot.
Tough to catch up to the 94-mile-an-hour heater.
Ninth inning drama. Bell and the Padres. Fontenot of the Giants. Both sides involved here. Giants fans looking for a base knock, and the Padre fans want a strikeout. 3-2 the count. And he fouls it away. Spoils a 94-mile-an-hour fastball outside. So from 3-0, 3 straight strikes thrown by Bell. Fontenot spoiling 2 of them. Ball 4. So a couple of walks. First and third. And Sandoval, the Giants' best hitter, steps to the plate. So Adams walked the leadoff man in the 8th and walked another with 2 outs. Ross got out of it. Bell comes in to walk the leadoff man, and with 2 outs, he walks Fontenot. So first and third again. Sandoval is 1 for 3, a single and a walk, and a couple of ground ball outs. A .333 hitter with men in scoring position, Sandoval. So the Giants have their best man up there in the dirt. Ball 1. That's with 2 outs. He's a .333 hitter. Runners in scoring position and 2 outs. So a clutch bat at the plate for the men from the Bay.
And you know what comes into play here? The breaking ball from Heath Bell, right? In the dirt. There's a runner at third base. Got to be careful. Kyle Phillips has to be on his game to smother that breaking ball in the dirt.
Popped him up. Right side, foul territory. Rizzo. Inning over. Now Adams, a couple of walks, gets out of the 8th. Bell, 2 walks in the 9th. And he gets a tough out in Sandoval. Up come the Padres in the home half of the 9th. Comes in out of the bullpen for the Giants. He'll be offering his tosses to Stewart, who stays in the game after pinch hitting, and Burris replaces Fontenot at second base defensively. We saw Lopez on Thursday night. He went a third of an inning. He did allow a run and a couple of hits. Burris stays in at second base, so the infield is Sandoval at third, Tejada at short, Burris at second, Huff at first. Logan Forsythe bats for Rizzo and takes a strike. Rizzo struck out twice and grounded out. Forsythe just recalled with joining the Padres here this series. Backs away. Limited duty up with the Padres for the third time. Forsythe, he's had only 48 at bats, 8 hits, a couple of doubles, looking for his first big league home run. Had a couple of those in spring training. Impressed the Padres with his power. Falls behind, a ball and 2 strikes. Gonzalez on deck, and then the pitcher's spot. Another foul. Padres still have DeNorfia and Johnson available, 2 right-handed batters, and maybe Headley, although it's doubtful. Outside as he slings the fastball at 88.
There's some deception in that livery of Lopez. Righties and lefties alike. And Lopez, Forsythe hitting for Rizzo. Lefties only hitting 111 off of Lopez.
Misses. Full count to Forsythe.
Righties a totally different story. 246.
Now this crowd trying to help Logan Forsythe get on there. Struck him out. That's the 11th Padre to strike out today. A pattern that has been alarming all season long. More strikeouts than any major league team. Think about it, how costly that is. They haven't played 9 innings, and with 11 strikeouts, that's almost 4 innings of strikeouts. Chop to third, foul ball. Well, the Brewers hung on in Colorado. The Rockies got a run in the 9th, but Milwaukee wins that one 4-3. Arizona beats the Dodgers 4-1. The other NL West action. Right back to the mound. Gonzalez 0 for 4 today. DeNorfia was in the on-deck circle, and now Bud Black out of the dugout talking with Chris. DeNorfia, good hitter against left-handed pitching. Has occasional power. Average at 280.
We talk about the possible home run. Affeld has surrendered 4 home runs in 41 2/3 innings.
It's off his glove, and that's going to go for a base hit. Maybe if DeNorfia doesn't turn, so he can't advance to second as that one caroms out into shallow right field. How many times has he chopped a ball on the infield and beaten it out for a hit? That's his 7th pinch hit in 20 at-bats.
Well, just putting the ball in play. He tops this one and just off the glove. And then the race is on. Thought maybe, but no. Good retreat right there by Burris at second base, getting to that baseball.
It's the 5th single in the game for the Padres. Their 5 hits, and DeNorfia 8 stolen bases. That facing the left-hander. Venable, lefty against lefty.
He's really got to concentrate on going left field here. There's that buggy whip from the left side coming right at your front hip pocket.
Walked twice facing Matt Cain, grounded out and popped up. Venable. Yeah, they got him. Boy, there are a lot of Giant fans here. 1-3, 6-3. DeNorfia picked off. We go extra innings again.
More furniture for less. Voted San Diego's best furniture and mattress store.
Forget that,
more for less.
You pay the same price, but you get extra innings, right?
Bonus baseball, bonus panels, tied at 3, top of the 10th.
And the rookie left-hander, Josh Spence, makes his 13th appearance. Giving up just that 1 run. A home run to Ethier in Los Angeles Sunday ago. Logan Forsythe stays in the game at third. Gonzalez moves across the diamond and will play first base with Rizzo out. Forsythe batting for him. Puts Spence in the 9th spot of the batting order. So the infield, Forsythe and Cabrera, 2 players that were teammates at Tucson earlier in this season. Hudson at second, Gonzalez at first. The outfield remains intact. Ludwig, Maben, and Venable left to right. And Phillips behind the plate. Swing and a miss by Shearholtz. The only Giant with more than 1 hit. Singled to lead off the second and scored on eventually Ross's sacrifice fly, and he singled in a run in the 6th inning. And he hits that one foul. Shearholtz, Huff, and Ross, the big boys for the Giants, middle of the lineup against Spence. here in the 10th. Well, in extra innings, statistically, favors the Giants. They're 9-5 in overtime. Padres are 4-8, including the game on Thursday night. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And the women's USA soccer team is 0-1
in overtime. Yeah, they went 2 15-minute extra periods, and then they lost 3-1 in the penalty kicks as the USA sacrificed the lead 1-0 and 2-1. In Japan, the champions, and Shearholtz looked like just an average hitter against Spence. Fooled badly.
Flipping up the breaky ball from Josh Spence. Gets him swinging. Good day, mate. Starts it at that back hip pocket, off the plate for a strike, and reaching for it, cannot make contact. Good pitch. Big first out.
Love the Aussies. And going down there, down under for the Open every year. Just what terrific people.
It's got to be great, huh?
You know, they've got 2 expressions that just talk about how level and personable they are. Good on you. They don't just say that's nice or that's good on you,
really?
mate. Good on you. You did a nice job. And the other is no worries.
Yeah,
we borrowed that now. The first the Aussies. Yeah, there's no worries. Hey, take it easy. Ground ball. Well, that one might worry you. Tough play for Hudson. Just does get him. Huff, not a fast runner, and Hudson able to make the play. 2 away to Cody Ross.
Well, we talked about that last night on the postgame interview with Orlando Hudson. His legs feel great and getting something on the throw. And watch, I thought maybe that Gonzalez maybe pulled his foot a little early, but it looks like there he kept it on the bag.
But Black going to the mound, and the left-hander Spence has taken care of the 2 left-handed hitters, Shearholtz and Huff, so he did his job.
Good on you, Josh.
No worries, mate. Pitching change brought to you by the Law Tigers, San Diego's motorcycle injury lawyers who ride. You by RCP Block and Brick. Lower your water bill with artificial turf and rock. RCP Block and Brick. Qualls, the busiest of the Padre pitchers this year. This is his 46th appearance. A 4-3 record with a .240 batting average against. No one on, 2 outs here in the top of the 10th inning, and Cody Ross the batter.
The last time out for Chad was that first game of the series on Thursday night. A nice inning as 2/3. He struck out 2 Giants. A 21 pitch effort. So going to the hard sinker baller against Cody Ross, the right-handed hitter.
Well, it's a battle of bullpens here in the extra innings. The Giants and the Padres. Ross, a sacrifice fly, grounded to short, grounded to third, and walked. So he's 0 for 2 today. Broken bat, top fly. Hudson wants it. 1 pitch, 1 out. Padres will come up in the bottom of the 10th inning. They'll hit from the top of the order. Venable, Cabrera, Maben. Anyone gets on, Ryan Ludwig. Will Venable leads it off in this 3-3 tie with Cabrera and Maben due to follow against left-hander Javier Lopez. Veteran Lopez, who has pitched for Colorado, Arizona, the Red Sox 4 years, Pittsburgh, and then went to San Francisco last year at mid-year. And that's that wicked breaking ball to a left-handed hitter. Tough to find that slider when you're batting from the left side against Lopez. Couple of walks for Venable. He scored in the first inning when he walked. Moved up on an error by Fontenot. Eventually came home on Ludwig's sacrifice fly. Soft roller right at the bag. Easy play for Huff. One away. Through 9. Two teams each with 3 runs. 12 hits total, 7 by the Giants. All the hits in the game singles. Giants made the deadline trade at the end of July, just at the midnight hour, getting Lopez from the Pirates for John Valker and Joe Martinez, a right-handed pitcher. Ground ball up the middle. Fontenot, a nice play. Cabrera out. George Burris now at second base for Fontenot, making that play.
You know, you just said something, Dick, that I had to. All the hits combined, all singles this afternoon. That is unbelievable when you think about it.
Good pitching.
This game of baseball will drive you nuts.
Latos went 7 innings, allowed 3 runs, 7 hits, walked only 1, struck out 5. Matt Cain, 6 innings, 3 runs, only 1 earned, 3 hits, walked 2, hit 1, and struck out 9. Maben popped up twice, once to shortstop Tejada, the other in shallow center field Torres. Single to left and grounded to short. 1 for 4. Out in front of that slider. Outfield back a couple of steps, protecting against a 2-base hit. Sandoval guarding the line at third. Fouled at the plate. Lopez in his second inning. He's given up just that infield hit by the pinch hitter Denorfia, but immediately picked him off. Tried to get him to chase the ball in the dirt. 1-2 to Maben. Two balls, two strikes. 33-year-old from Puerto Rico, Javier Lopez. He's got to be tough to pick up.
Throws across his body. Low, low 3/4.
Struck him out. Another Padre goes on strikes. The 11th, the 12th now in the game, and we go to the 11th inning, tied at 3. Of the order for the Giants, Tejada. And the pitcher spot, I believe, is in the 8th hole. And Stewart, who took over for Whiteside defensively. Burris actually is hitting 8th.
Yeah, remember he pinch ran and then was inserted at second base.
Tejada 1 for 4 in the game.
So if you're scoring at home, Fryer faithful. The pitcher spot is in the number 2 hole on your scorecard.
One and one to the veteran infielder. Infield hit off Cabrera's glove back in the 7th inning. Homered yesterday into the bullpen. Takes a strike inside corner.
Well, Chad's got the shot put working. That heavy, well, like Tony Gwynn describes it as a bowling ball, that two-seam sinker from Chad Qualls. And that slider to break down and away to the right-handed hitter.
Broken bat ground ball. Nice play by Gonzalez. The throw to Qualls. And it's just in time as Tejada goes in head first. Well, for the age is on Tejada through the major leagues. He still hustles, doesn't he?
He sure does. And diving into first base, seen guys break fingers, jam shoulders, mess up their elbows, and being in the league for many, many years for Miguel Tejada, that's got to knock off 6 or 8 months when you have a body like that, huh?
37 years of age and throwing his body around. He wants to win.
Absolutely.
One out. Here's Burris batting for the first time. He ran for Whiteside back in the 9th. Switch hitter hitting left side, 223. Only 143 as a right-handed batter. His danger is he gets on a big threat to steal. And when you add up all the numbers in this game, it is the stolen base from the Giants side that has been critical. That's how they got themselves in position to tie the game back in the 7th off Latos.
Eli Whiteside, of all people,
hadn't stolen the base all year. Hadn't tried to steal. And that put him in position to score on a 2-out single by Andres Torres. 3-1. You walk Burris, and it's almost a double for the Giants because you know he's going to try to steal, and there's been no indication the Padres can stop the running game of the Giants today. They're 4 for 4. Lays that one in there, 91.
Oh, good movement on that two-seamer. Take a little bit off, create a little bit more movement for Chad Qualls.
Outfield swung way around to left, expecting Burris to be late on a swing, but he runs it right up the middle for a base hit. Well, the light hitting Burris able to single. One out here in the 11th. Now watch out. On your toes. Bruce Bochy has his boys running today. Stewart came into the game in the 9th inning, the backup catcher, and successfully sacrificed a runner along, but Heath Bell able to pitch out of a couple of walks in the 9th, just as Adams did the same in the 8th, 2 walks. Burris 6 steals this year, but that's in limited play. He's only had 124 at bats. Strike. In fact, the 4 steals by the Giants today are the most all season long for San Francisco. And it'll be a shock if Burris doesn't try. He goes, pitch out, Phillips throw into center field. Burris will go to third on a pitch out. A steal and a wild throw by Phillips. 5 for 5 are the Giants. And with 1 out, they've got a man at third.
They smelled it, had everything set up, and that ball leaks on the second base side of second base. And just like that, the Giants 90 feet away from taking the lead.
And if they win this one, they literally will have broken the lock and stolen one.
You know, it's almost like a pitcher when they work underneath the baseball. It has a tendency to run up and away to a left-handed hitter. If you're right-handed, seems to be the way Kyle Phillips threw that one. Just rushed it a little bit and worked underneath it and pushed it to center field.
So the infield has to come in. Forsythe, Cabrera, Hudson, and Gonzalez from third around to first. Stewart, 1 ball, 1 strike. Padre last year, another pitch out. They're thinking that Squeeze might be on. Not known for his hitting. He's batting just 190, Stewart. 3 RBIs all year. 2-1 the count. Here he comes. The squeeze, and it's a beauty.
They get the out at first base, but the Giants steal the lead 4-3. Perfectly bunted by Chris Stewart. Up twice today, and he's bunted twice. And he's going to get the Heroes handshake down in that dugout.
Good back control as soon as Chad Qualls committed to home plate. Burris was off and running. Perfectly executed.
That was the suicide. If Stewart doesn't get a bat on the ball, then he'd have been dead at the plate, Burris. But the steal, the error, squeeze bunt, and the Giants lead 4-3. And Torres the batter. Stewart's 4th RBI of the year on a bunt. Part of the game and well executed. Chris Stewart, in his own way, a hero, and in 2 at-bats, you add up the distance on his 2 bunts, about 45-50 feet. Both doing the job. Now the Giants getting production from players you don't expect to win you the game, and that's why they're in first place. Everyone chipping in. Brian Wilson now a save situation, so we're going to see him in the bottom of the 11th inning.
And what a totally different look at the scorecards when you look at both sides, number 8 and number 9 hitters.
0-2 it remains on Torres.
The bottom of the order for the Giants, 8 and 9, doing little things to get things done, and not the same on the Padres side.
Well, the inability to stop the rash of steals. 4 was their high for the year, now 5 for 5, and it's led to 2 of the runs. The tying run and now the go-ahead run. Ground ball up the middle. Torres, another base hit for him. Goodness. Double as a pinch hitter yesterday. 3 for 4. 3 runs scored on Friday. 2 more hits today. Aaron Rowan will bat for Fontenot, or for the pitcher spot rather. Pitcher now in the number 2 spot. Occupied by Fontenot at the start. There goes the runner. Guess what? 6 steals today. Number 12 on the season for Torres, who leads the Giants. I have to scramble into the record book for the Giants to see the last time that they stole 6. How about 24 years ago? They stole 6 bases. September 8th in 1987. So Rowan with a chance to pick up an insurance run. Oh, and 2. Four 3 San Francisco. Padres have Ludwig, Hudson, and Phillips scheduled in the bottom of the 11th. Slider outside. Rowan doesn't offer. Veteran hitter at .239, couple of home runs. Popped up. That one's going to sail back to the Padre dugout.
But Chad Qualls, a sinker ball pitcher. That ground ball got through past Orlando Hudson on the right. He got his grounder, just happened to beat the shift. But in this situation, you have to really be diving now, preventing that 5th run from coming across. So any grounder, infielders are getting dirty, preventing that ball from going to the outfield in the event of a grounder.
That ball hit well to left field, but Ludwig is there. But the Thieves from San Francisco have stolen the lead. It's 4-3 going to the bottom of the 11th inning. Try to get the final 3 outs here as the Giants have a 4-3 lead. Home half of the 11th inning. Ryan Ludwig leads it off. He's 0 for 2 today. Sacrifice fly in the first and hit by a pitch in the 6th that loaded the bases and set the table for Orlando Hudson's 2-run single. That gave the Padres a 3-2 lead in the 6th inning. Giants tied it in the 7th. 1-1.
Well, this guy can make it interesting as well.
He's gone through his travails much as Heath Bell has, and doesn't always go 1, 2, 3. Over but low, 2-1. 4 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. The Giants, 3 runs, 5 hits, an error for the Padres. Total of 14 hits in the game, all singles. Over but low again. 3-1 to Ludwig. The one power hitter in the lineup. Ludwig with a 3-1 pitch coming up. Ball 4. Well, the tying run on. Leadoff walk to Ludwig. Orlando Hudson, 2 of the 5 Padre hits, including a bases-loaded single to knock into, and a 3-2 lead back in the 6th inning. Also singled in the 4th. That was the first hit off Matt Cain, the starter. Hudson showing bunt. Takes ball 1.
Tried to backdoor the slider there.
Wilson has given up 2 home runs this year, but almost a hit per inning, 39 hits in 43 innings. Strike 1, 1-1.
Well, ideally, Orlando Hudson, if going to bunt here, bunted down the first baseline, You have Sandoval at third base creeping in. You want to prevent from them getting that lead runner at second base. And that backdoor breaking ball would be a tough ball to get down that first base line, it seems, on the outside part of the plate to a left-handed hitter.
Outside, 2-1. He's got Sandoval creeping in at third and take off the bunt, and Hudson might be able to punch one by him. Now Sandoval backs up. He's bag high. I don't think Hudson's going to bunt. He takes strike two. 95 on that fastball from Brian Wilson. Ooh, that was close. Full count to Hudson. Ludwig at first by way of a walk. Padre fans with a rally cry. Punch foul.
He went with the 3-2 slider on that pitch.
Four times. Wilson not converting the save. Ball four. He's walked the first two men here in the 11th inning. Sunday Theater at Petco Park, San Diego. You want to be a manager.
And Kyle Phillips has got to get this bunt down to get those runners over to second and third.
Well, one thing you can't defend is the base on balls. And Mike Adams got away with a couple of walks in the 8th. Bell with 2 walks in the 9th. And now Wilson, the Giants ace, he has walked the first 2 men in the 11th. The bunt's certainly in order now.
Now here's where you want to bunt it down the third base line.
Absolutely. Fouled away. If Phillips is successful, it'll be his first time this year. He has not been able to sacrifice, hasn't been called upon to do so. Out in front of the plate. The throw to third is in time. Back to first. A double play. Oh, my. What a bad time for the Padre fans. Bunts into a double play. Tough day for Phillips. 5 men have stolen on him and then asked to move a runner along. He hits into a double play.
Not bunted hard enough down that third base line, enabling Stewart to get to it quickly and get that force at third. And then Sandoval with a rocket throw across the diamond.
So that bails Wilson out for the moment. 2 outs. Hudson at second. And young Forsythe, the hitter. He's been up once and struck out. Slider hits the inside corner.
Well, does Wilson get a call here? Oh, my goodness. My goodness.
Does he ever? 1-1 the count to Forsythe. That one's inside. 2-1. With 2 outs, Hudson carrying the tying run at second base. Bottom of the 11th. Wilson presenting the Padres with a golden opportunity, but outside. 3-1. Now Forsythe should get a pretty good pitch here. Gonzalez on deck. No, ball 4. So the third walk of the inning. Oh, the winning run's aboard, carried by Forsythe. Tying run at second, Hudson. Alberto Gonzalez has struck out twice, grounded to second, and bounced to the mound, 0 for 4. But he's done a good job, his best hitting with men in scoring position. He's hitting only .205 for the season, but a .300 hitter with men in scoring position takes a strike. Chase Headley is in the on-deck circle. Pitcher's spot due next. 2 on, 2 out. 1-1. Ludwig walks, Hudson walks, but Phillips bunts into a double play. Forsythe walks, first and second, 2 out. 2-1.
Should be 3-0. The first pitch was off the plate. And that, I guess all it takes is 1, right?
Action pitch, 2 balls and a strike to Gonzalez. Ground ball up the middle, but it's right at the second baseman. And Boris makes the play, and the Giants win. Despite 3 walks in the 9th inning, Brian Wilson collects his 28th save of the year. And the Giants take 3 out of 4, 2 of them in extra innings, as their record in overtime 10-5. The Padres dropped to 4-9. There wasn't a lot of hitting, but the Giants were certainly in the mood for robbery at Petco Park. 6 steals, playing importantly in the win this afternoon. We'll be back with the final totals right after we pause for these words.